Oh God, the clips in the thread are so good.
Yeah.
Are you streaming?
Yes.
Fuck it. To quote somewhere, there's a clip of an interview of some random Scottish lady when Margaret Thatcher's funeral was happening. Quoted, lady on the street, "We should put a stake through her heart and garlic around her neck to make sure she never comes back." But imagine that, but in a Scottish accent.
Beautiful.
Reporter, don't you think that's a bit rude when her funeral's happening right now? Lady, too bad.
Too bad. That's perfect.
I can't keep going, but they're so good. Her funeral purportedly cost £3 million.
Oh.
Quote, for $3 million, you could give everyone in Scotland a shovel and we could dig a hole so deep we could hand her over to Satan in person.
My goodness.
God. I just unmuted the stream and there's no music.
Ah, so there isn't.
Can you load up Ace Attorney real quick?
Here's some music. I hope I don't get copyright struck. There's no... Listen, you can't prove that I didn't open the game.
I'm pretty confident that we're not having a Susato moment in game at that particular point. I'm just saying. I do like this theme. I don't know if it fits rogue subclasses, but I do like it.
It's a nice comment. Here, let me play for you some music that you are not going to know about because this is in a later game.
By the way,
what?
I'm listening to the music. You're quieter than the music. Well, maybe
That's
not.
a problem. Maybe let's move the mic closer to my face.
It's more like the music's really loud. I'm realizing.
That's probably true.
This song's neat.
Yeah, this is from Spirit of Justice, which is the first mainline game after Apollo Justice. And it has a really great soundtrack, but the actual game is like such a mess.
Oh no.
Hello.
Oh. Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Good morning. How's it going?
Very good. Pretty good. Not much. Just did a shower and sent some food in the oven. That'll be done in an hour. So.
Nice.
You guys, are you wide awake?
Sure. I mean, I've honestly been awake for a couple hours at this point.
Oh.
I haven't, but I think the coffee kicked in because I actually feel really fucking good. I also figured out why I've been steaming milk wrong this whole time.
Which
So
is,
you know what? Today's not all bad.
That's great.
what were you doing wrong?
I was not opening the valve enough.
Ah, yeah, you gotta crank that.
Yeah.
Soldier boy, tell him.
I initially opened it too much, and Steven was like, you don't have to turn it that much. And I think since then I've overcorrected, and it's been ruining my milk. So this is good. Next time it'll be good.
All right. Well, we're just about halfway through this list, and we got some. I feel like we have some of the easier ones.
Let's just get a refresher real quick, though. Phantom was broken.
Yeah, Phantom was super busted. Arcane Trickster was very good. Revived was Revive was the one that you just kind of maximize your rogue potential because you can just like key blast your sneak attack.
Key blast your sneak attack.
It's like it's the range sneak attack as a bonus action.
Oh yes.
Oh, and you're super safe, and no one's ever gonna kill you.
Yes, yes. That's right. Okay, I remember
Inquisitive
now.
we put in B. I don't remember a lot about it. Oh, we put it in for similar reasons. I think that we did Revived, but it's just like much worse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's even that similar, to be honest. Is it?
Well, it's just in the sense that like you're getting sneak attack uptime like more against targets you wouldn't otherwise.
Okay, I remember now.
That's
yeah.
right.
All right, sure.
And also just has a lot of good out of combat abilities that are nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it had some
You
utility.
become the great Herlock Sholmes. Ha ha!
and then Assassin and Mastermind. Yeah, I
My
remember those
dear
two.
fellows.
Okay, cool.
Mastermind was very disappointing.
Listen, whoever tells you crime pays, crime does not pay.
Not in strict power level sense, anyway.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think we've done our refresh. Let's talk about Scout, which I know Dan has played.
Mm-hmm.
When did you play Scout?
Gats
That
was a
Gats.
Scout.
Gats was a Scout. That's
The
right.
slipperiest Gats was a Scout.
Nice little innocent scout.
I forgot you were the one person that didn't use one of the fucked up subclasses.
The fucked
Josh
up broken
made.
subclasses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, excellent.
I'm
We've got
gonna
a
tell
lot
you
of
all
data
about
here.
this.
Hell yeah! Do you want to read it or?
Yeah, I'll let Dan read this. This is Dan's class.
Well, you start with Skirmisher at 3rd level. You are difficult to pin down during a fight. You can move up to half your speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you. This movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. This feature ends up not being that useful, sadly, which I kind of expected going in. The fact that it's at the end of a creature's turn means they get to walk up to you, do whatever the hell they want to you,
And then you can leave.
and
yeah.
then you can walk away.
I thought it was good until I didn't see the end turn. Oh yeah.
There are cases where it is good. Like, let's say there's 20 enemies. They don't all get to walk up to you and attack. The first one that ends its turn, after like the 20 of them are about to stab you, one of them ends its turn, the first one, then you move away, and then the other 19 don't get to attack.
Yeah.
This is so you don't get locked down by like multiple enemies.
Interesting.
Now, against one big enemy, which is more common in a Josh campaign, you're just better off using your other rogue reactions to half damage.
Yep.
Listen, you say more common, and it is more common, but also I will add that anytime I put ads in the game, they get obliterated within the first like 5 seconds.
Yes, that's normal.
Eat stronger ads. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you're right. All the ads should have like 50,000 HP.
When I had a whole bunch of Minotaurs, y'all ended up just kind of bullying them.
Well, maybe they shouldn't have been blinded.
It's fun to bully the ads. That was a feature. Survivalist.
And when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you gain proficiency in the nature and survival skills if you don't already have it, but you won't be doing that. You'll be already taking them and doubling them because your proficiency bonus is double.
Yep. 2 free expertises, you say?
Yeah.
Delicious.
So basically, just 2 extra free expertises that you don't even need to put skills
Wow.
into.
Nature is pretty good. Survival is very good.
True.
Nature is potentially amazing depending on what you're fighting in a campaign, actually.
Sure, yeah. I definitely think in combat this is obviously nothing.
Yeah,
but like,
obviously not.
But like out of combat, for rogues that love expertise, this is like, oh, great, more
It's also
skills
just
with
like-
expertise.
It's also just like 2 skills that you wouldn't normally take expertise in, but are like really
Yeah.
handy to have expertise in. It's like fairly difficult to get expertise in these things because like
A lot of parties don't have anyone with int, so no one has any good nature.
Yeah.
what is int? I don't understand.
My druid got to level 20 and had +1 to nature
Oh,
checks.
Nice.
good Jesus.
She was not very smart.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
I
not.
like this feature. But then there's a pretty heavy empty space from 3rd to 9th before you get anything. But
Yeah,
at 9th level,
that's
you
pretty
get,
rough.
It is pretty rough. But at 9th level, you get superior mobility. Your walking speed is increased by 10 feet. If you have a climbing or swimming speed, this increase applies to that speed as well. Not that much, but it's 10 feet is 10 feet.
10 feet's 10 feet, you know, synergizes with skirmisher to a certain extent.
True.
I do have to say though, until 9th level, I'm like a little disappointed.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
You
going
really
on
just
here.
you don't get a ton.
No,
Like
you don't get a ton.
you know, when I really think about it, I don't remember you using most of your abilities. I remember more of these.
You mean skirmisher?
These two.
Skirmisher's my only ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything else
correct.
is
However, you do remember using Ambush Master whenever I got it. You'll get
yes.
to that one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that one. But yeah, for most of the game, my only ability is Skirmisher, and it doesn't come up that much. So that is a totally criticism of the class. However, at 13th level, you get Ambush Master, which is actually a good feature. You excel at leading ambushes and acting first in a fight. You have advantage on initiative rolls, so you're often going first, especially because you're a rogue. In addition, the first creature you hit during the first round of combat becomes easier for you and others to strike. Attack rolls against that target have advantage until the start of your next turn. Really
that is a
good.
great ability.
yeah.
We compare it to the assassin one.
Which
Which one is better? Do you think? Which one adds more total damage to the total party?
I think
I think this one might.
I think this one might. I think it will depend on your composition though, because like,
True.
but
Some
also
people don't care about advantage.
also I would say though, this is better just because it's
You get it every fight.
yeah, you get it every fight. It's not
Yeah.
dependent on whether or not you go like first. In fact, this one actually even gives you advantage on initiative rolls, which like assassin doesn't.
Yeah.
And then like the other part of like the assassin feature is that you have to be like to maximize it, you have to have a surprise round. There have to be surprise creatures.
Yep.
But on the other hand, that is also a 3rd level ability, and this is a 13th level ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for most campaigns, you will never get this.
This requires you to hit them.
It does.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that seems silly, but it's not.
Yeah.
It is. You have to hit them during the first round of a combat.
And there's a little bit of an awkward situation here that you're really, really likely to go first now.
And you
and
won't
you're
be
also
sneak attacking.
You won't be sneak attacking as much as you'd like.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have any way of gaining advantage. Yeah.
That's why I was a kobold.
Yeah,
That's right.
easy advantage. Kobold supremacy. Woo!
Kobolds are really good in my opinion. I think they're
Mhm.
one of the best races. Anyway, yeah, that's a good feature though. Sudden Strike is 17th level, which is definitely their best feature. You can strike with deadly speed. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can make one additional attack as a bonus action. This attack can benefit from your sneak attack even if you've already used it this turn. But you can't use your sneak attack against the same target more than once per turn.
Oh.
That's
it.
two sneak attacks per turn.
That's
which
the
is-
ability for the class.
And that is very good, gotta say. Especially because it lets you do ranged attacks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very easily.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh.
And not lose any DPS.
Yeah.
So can't be used on the same target, so if there's only one enemy, tough luck, but usually there's more than one.
Yeah. I feel like
Not often you
this
just saw
one's
like 6 people ganking one dude.
This one is pretty straightforward because it has like the most like obvious power curve where like every ability is like kind of whatever until you get to the last two, which are really good.
It just slowly gets better and better.
Yeah, like this is what a normal leveling curve looks like for like any other game you would play normally.
True.
But I think that that's like really actively to its detriment in a game like D&D.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because where I'm
Yeah.
at, right, is that
this cannot be compared to like something like an Arcane Trickster or a Phantom.
not
or
even
Revive.
close. Like you were playing essentially a slightly more mobile base rogue until level 13.
And up until level 9, I'm literally just a rogue with 2 expertises.
Like that's pretty rough. Like I don't want to completely count out the power of these last two features, but like it's so hard to say like it's so hard to rate this like super well when it's like, you know, most people won't ever see this. I mean, if you do get to these levels, these are really great abilities. Like getting to apply sneak attack more than once is super strong. But you know, also we have like a class that can kind of sort of do it anyway.
I will say though, like this gives me some bias here. Even if the campaign had ended at level 12, I would have had no regrets about this subclass. Like
okay.
I was perfectly satisfied with just getting expertises.
Just the
because
expertises. Yeah, that's fair.
sometimes if you're playing rogue to be the skill monkey, and this class does it really well. I think similarly how Inquisitive fits the skill monkey role well, but Inquisitive might do it better.
Well, that was my next question. Is I think we have to compare it to Inquisitive.
Yeah, let me relook at Inquisitive because I think it's a similar role.
So Inquisitive, let's see. Wisdom insight checks to determine whether a creature of lying treat a roll of 7 or lower as an 8. You can use a bonus action to make a Wisdom perception check to spot a hidden creature or object. That one was very whatever. Advantage on Wisdom perception or Intelligence investigation checks if you move no more than half your speed. So this is like the ability that you would be using.
Yeah, I think their features are basically pretty comparable to the expertise in nature and wisdom, but instead it's
pretty comparable because like advantage
insight?
is like what like on average like a equal to a +5 I think mathematically. Yeah. So like getting expertise is like pretty on par for most of the game.
However, that one doesn't require you to take a skill. This one requires you to use one of your proficiencies on insight, which is
true.
So it's slight detriment there, but like,
yeah.
I honestly prefer the way Scout does it, where it's just give expertise. Don't have these weird funky features.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
As an 8 advantage, like just do the rogue thing. Expertise done.
I you know what, you're right. I also prefer that. Just one and done. It's done. I feel like this is a hard one. This is a hard one because like this is one where the level curve is such a problem.
Yeah, okay, but I will say up until that like level 9 or so, I think Inquisitive is definitely better just because they get those sneak attacks where Scout Rogue won't.
Yeah.
But I think I'm almost okay putting them on the same tier as each other because I consider them pretty similar. At 9th level, you get advantage on stuff. Actually, I do have a slightly hot take, which is the stuff like the minimum 7 or lower and advantage instead of expertise, arguably better. Because you can already expertise those skills base class.
True.
So this is in addition to that, you can now have other features.
If you want to hyper specialize rather than being a more broad role.
Yeah, well, I figure if you want to be a broad role, you go play Bard.
Maybe.
that's
I mean, okay,
I'm
Rogue gets a lot of expertise. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But this one could really, really hyper specialize on insight.
Yeah, hyper specialize on insight and perception eventually because you get advantage on like all of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think honestly, Scout feels like a tier below.
That's kind of where I'm at. I think it's a C tier.
I'm also
Now,
okay with that. Except
I'm okay with it, but would people be angry if we put this like above assassin, like scout?
no. I mean, I wouldn't. I hate assassin.
I think assassin is just so dog, man.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I really don't think.
we're just
Maybe.
comparing assassins, crit whatever. What is their third level feature again? Just like fucking.
It's so let's see. Advantage on
Crit
attack rolls
on-
against any creature that has not taken a turn in combat, and any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. And then they don't get anything else until 17th level.
That assassinate advantage on creatures that haven't taken a turn in combat. If you go high in initiative, that you don't need surprise rounds. That guarantees your sneak attack.
It's fairly potent for sure.
Like the Inquisitive is up there because they can guarantee a sneak attack in other cases, or they can make themselves very likely to get a sneak attack when other rogues wouldn't. This one can pretty much guarantee a sneak attack every turn.
I would
Because
say
that
like
first turn,
I would say strictly speaking, I think at third level, assassin is better. Just because of that feature, but at the same time, I feel like this is one of those rarer cases where the later abilities are so much better that I think it deserves to be recognized as such.
oh,
I don't know.
Dan,
I'm
you're
almost
scaring me.
I'm almost feeling like both Scout and Assassin should be C tier.
Are C tier? I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Hold on, though. Okay, so
yeah, you make a good point there. Actually, that's
I
What are
do
you
want to
holding on
say I don't want to guarantee assassin gets nothing in regard to making it go before other creatures. It has
high
nothing
dexterity.
going for it aside from the fact that it's a
Aside from,
dex
like,
based
natural
rolls,
class.
What are the odds? Okay, how many fights out of 10 is the rogue with high dex gonna be below every enemy in combat? There's usually gonna be quite a number of enemies.
Well,
I think,
usually
like,
there's
one
a
out of-
target
one-
enemy that you want to go for.
this
Well,
is
I mean,
totally
you're-
like out of the blue random, but initiative is a skill check, right?
Yes.
Can you get proficiency in initiative?
There's no skill associated with it. It's,
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
holy
Jesus.
do you want to get that motorcycle
one of
out
the-
of your living room?
You know how motorcycle drivers are. They have the little tiny peepees. Pay attention to me.
It's an ability check that has no corresponding skill that you can be proficient in, Josh.
Okay, I see.
That's how I've always understood it. It's not technically a skill check, I guess, but I don't know if there is such a thing. Fuck. What was I?
I do think
Dan asked how many combats you're gonna have. Everyone ahead of you. A lot of them. I've played with Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's very unlucky. No, but Tyler, even Tyler, he's always like, even if he's near the bottom, he's always ahead of like some random enemies.
He's not always. He's rolled very bottom as a rogue before. It's always funny.
Sometimes I forget. It's honestly like a lot of the times to his advantage because he gets sneak attack.
Okay,
That's true.
that's fair. So
I guess really,
in
either
any
way,
case
assassin
where-
comes out ahead.
in any case,
Well,
yeah, but
no, it comes out
you're
even.
making me consider that, like, in any case where your fighter or paladin or melee or barbarian, whatever, rolls ahead of you in initiative, this advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat is a lot less impactful because you're already getting your sneak attack. Still impactful, but
Yeah,
obviously
it increases your
advantage is
odds to
still
hit,
good.
but yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that huge because it's only one turn. It's only you. It's not the
Mhm.
worst though. I might be okay with bumping it up to C regardless. Hard to say.
Yeah, I would be all right with that.
Because you're right. Because I think you're right, Dan. I don't think Scout and Assassin are 2 tiers away from each other.
no. I think they're. I mean, I don't know. I honestly think they might be the same tier.
Assassin was just yeah. I think you're right. Assassin was just so offensive because it has such terrible like other skills.
Ninth and 13th.
Yeah.
It's not well designed. All right.
In most combats.
Okay, I'm fine with this. Do you want to move on to Soul Knife?
Sure.
Okay. So
Oh, no.
a soul knife strikes and infiltrates with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic. So this is a psionic rogue. Okay.
This is the Brendan one.
Oh God. Starting at 3rd level, you harbor a wellspring of psionic energy within yourself. This energy is represented by your psionic energy dice, which are a d6. You have a number of these dice equal to twice your proficiency bonus, and they fuel various psionic powers you have, which are detailed below. Some of your powers expend the psionic energy die they use, as specified in a power's description, and you can't use a power if it requires you to use a die when your dice are all expended. You regain all your expended psionic energy dice when you finish a long rest. In addition, as a bonus action, you can regain 1 expended psionic energy die, but you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. When you reach certain levels in this class, the size of your psionic energy dice increases. At 5th level to a d8, at 11th to a d10, and at 17th to a d12. The powers below use your psionic energy. This will be so long.
This is so long.
When your
Yeah, it is.
non-psionic
Buckle
training
in.
fails you, your psionic power can help. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning failure into success. You expend the die only if the roll succeeds. You can establish telepathic communications between yourself and others, perfect for quiet infiltration. As an action, choose 1 or more creatures you can see, up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, and then roll 1 psionic energy die. For a number of hours equal to the number rolled, the chosen creature can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. To send or receive a message, no action required. You and the other creature must be within 1 mile of each other. A creature can't use this telepathy if it can't speak any languages, and a creature can end the telepathic connection at any time, no action required. You and the creature don't need to speak a common language to understand each other. The first time you use this power after each long rest, you don't expend the psionic energy die. All other times you use the power, you expend the die.
So, skill monkey in communication. Oh, I'm so sad about the 1 mile. I don't know why, but
yeah.
I am. It doesn't really change much.
I think 1 mile is usually enough for anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is weird. I don't know. I feel like this communication thing, would actually matter a bit more in combat for those parties that don't let you just kind of converse and discuss strategy middle of combat.
What do you mean everyone
In our
doesn't get to
campaign,
share
we're
the
like, "All right, should we
puppets?
fireballs, and the enemy's just like looking at their watch.
Yeah.
Other people play like each person. No one says anything when it's
You don't
another
talk. You
person's
just
turn.
do your turn. You don't.
You
Yeah.
just do your turn.
Yeah.
And combat goes so fucking fast.
Is that how your other campaign is?
So that's how several campaigns I play with do. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not very quick.
We could try that one time, but we'll see.
Listen, I basically just sit here and do whatever the fuck I want anyway. Nobody gives me any input.
No one gives me
Well.
input either. But you can guess why.
All right, Sean, I think that today you should smash.
It's a really hard class to play, you know.
Barbarian is just
like
smash or
mage.
pass D&D edition.
Yeah.
Smash.
So
Smash.
so the skill monkey part though.
Smash.
Sorry,
I think the skill monkey part of this is actually really, really good.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, no doubt, no
The
doubt.
fact that it lets you use it after you know you failed.
Yeah. I was
That's
thinking
amazing.
about how actually vaguely annoying that is. Fun fact.
Why?
Because I think just because of the nature of how we play, oftentimes we don't know if we really fail. I guess we almost always you could just ask the DM, did I fail that check? But
That's a good point.
I think that's more of a fault
You
with
make
how we play. I think technically you're supposed to have a DC in mind as the DM always, and then judge pass or fail.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, but
we
that
play
is
a
kinda
little bit
weird, yeah.
we play a little bit more weirdly, like
Loosey goosey.
So okay, here's the thing, right? Is that
Make a history check. If you fail by a lot, you don't nothing. If you fail by a little bit,
Yeah.
literally this happened because I went outside and I read other tabletop games that are not Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like the idea of like partial successes and gradations of successes and like
that just makes sense to me.
right?
Yep.
Like one would think that that's generally how it's supposed to go, but actually like D&D kind of plays in this place where it's like you have a DC and it's a binary failure pass state.
Some DCs aren't, in that they have like degrees of failure, but those are usually pretty niche.
I mean, I bet honestly, I bet in the actual D&D book they might do recommendations for shit like this, like because a history check,
suspect.
you can't just say I know every history book. Like if you succeed, I know every single thing there is to know about the subject. You fail by one. You know absolutely nothing about this. So, like, there has to be a middle ground.
I think it's
Yeah.
because in general we play skills a little bit more broadly than other groups, because I think in most cases it's not just like, do you know anything about this? I think it's people are making history checks to know a specific fact. Meaning to reread the DMG for this stuff. Yeah, I haven't really cracked open the DMG in like probably a good couple years, because I've just kind of written off everything inside as like either being like redundant or pointless or wishy-washy or not helpful or not clarifying the things I actually want to know about, or whatever amount of those things.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
I just found a cool ruling.
Yeah.
On group ability checks. You know, where like everyone wants to make a stealth check, or people all want to make
Arcana.
Like, you all want to make the perception check.
Yeah.
You know, the way you do that is if at least half the group succeeds, the whole group succeeds. Otherwise, the group fails.
I've heard that before.
And everyone makes the group. That's how its rules is written, apparently.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
Well, it makes some sense for stealth. It makes a little less sense for like history to my mind, but I guess then you wouldn't have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't do it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point.
You could.
Like for example, when adventurers are navigating a swamp, the DM might call for a group wisdom survival check to see if players.
That makes some sense to me.
I see.
If it's something that everyone's doing, yeah, I actually like that.
Yeah, Keter, that I mean that I think it's more a failure with just like history as a skill check rather than like its own kind of like mechanic, I guess.
But
It's just that,
regarding
like, it's
very
used so
specific,
differently than other skills.
very specifically this skill, that probably shouldn't be a knock against it.
No,
No.
it's actually a benefit.
Technically,
in
yes.
most cases, yeah.
Especially because you only lose the die if it succeeds.
And to be fair, like a lot of people do play essentially with binary pass-fail states. So.
And if you don't,
Succeed? Maybe?
if you don't play that way, guess what happens? You just ask the DM at the end of the check, did I succeed? They say yes or no. They can decide that, and then you know if your roll, yeah. So it really, yeah, it's arguably better because of that. Even if it's slightly more annoying to how our playstyle sometimes is.
It's a little bit clunky, but it's not gonna be a detriment, is what you're saying.
No,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, it's basically just like you have a bard attached to your backpack.
This is great. I think this is great. Like the rogue's usually gonna be doing pretty well in their skill checks, and then on the occasion they fail, they're like, no, I don't fail.
You're a bard, but better.
A bard could add their thing to this as well.
Yeah, it stacks. Let's go.
That's true. You can get some pretty absurd numbers with this.
And this isn't
like it.
even
But
their
it
combat
requires you
level.
to fail. So you'd have to fail by
Oh,
one, and
yeah,
then
you're
you have
right.
to imagine if you failed by one, and then you rolled two of these dice, like one of your psionic dice, and then one bardic inspiration, like a big boy bardic inspiration, and you just add 24 to your check.
And it goes up to a D12 at 17th level.
Yeah,
The scaling's nice. I like the scaling.
I just
but let's do the combat one, like Sean said.
okay. All right. So at third level, you also can manifest your psionic power as shimmering blades of psychic energy. Whenever you take the attack action, you manifest a psychic blade from your free hand and make the attack with that blade. This magic blade is a simple melee weapon with
Range.
finesse and thrown properties. It has a normal range of 60 feet and no long range, and on a hit, it deals psychic damage equal to 1d6 plus the ability modifier used for the attack roll. The blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses its target, and it leaves no mark on its target if it leaves damage. I like this plus the ability modifier, so you can just strength throw them.
This is
Let's see.
God.
After you attack with this class is so long. After you attack with
I
the
know.
blade, you can make a melee or ranged attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action on the same turn, provided your other hand is free to create it. The damage die of this bonus attack is 1d4 instead of 1d6. Yeah, that's fucking
great. Ranged
nuts.
attacks
This
at
is
60
broken.
feet.
This is
Broken?
nasty.
I think it's very strong because we know that 2 attacks at ranged for a rogue.
Two attacks
is
at
very good.
range.
Psychic damage is a slight bonus as well.
And I think I think if I'm reading this correctly, you can add your ability modifier to the second one as well.
I think you're right. That doesn't matter that much, but that is a bonus.
No, but
yeah.
it's a nice little bonus. Even with gradient
very,
pass
very
fail
cool.
checks, being able to twist a little bit more out of a DC can be the difference between feeling like you exhausted all your info or not. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I will say this. With a sort of gradient system, I feel like you'd have to have a discussion about how you wanted to play this ability. But also, like, at the same time, it's your job as the DM to make sure people don't get, like, stuck. So you just kind of, like, feed them a little bit more, have something happen.
Feed me.
Feed me, Seymour.
Oh,
God,
You get
Yeah.
this. Sorry, you get this at third level. Third level's the level where adding your dex to the offhand could potentially matter in a fight.
Third
True.
level is also a level where, like,
You're right.
no one has extra attack.
Yeah.
God, you're right. Both of you are right. Third level, this is really good. Like,
Mhm.
like on our tier list, we have Revived up at A tier because it's very good at doing 2 attacks from range. This does it better.
This
Yeah,
does
it
2
does.
attacks at range. Either
And
one
it
of them can
also
sneak
has a
attack.
really nuts. It has a really nuts like out of combat psionic power bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
Remind me how
Oh
many of those you
my.
get? You get
Double proficiency, and you can bonus action get another one.
That's
So.
wow. That's really good.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
lot. That's a lot of those.
That's 4 to 5 when you take this.
Yeah.
And this Psychic Blades features infinite.
Now
Yep.
keep in mind it is infinite. That's important.
You're just never gonna hold weapons.
No.
Look, Ma, no hands.
I'm disarmed. What do you want from me?
That it's funny because, like, it is definitely one of those things where you are a it's a weird situation because you're a rogue that, like, does not want to be using weapons, but as a martial class, a lot of your viability oftentimes at higher levels can come from magic weapons.
That is true. Your
So-
DM might have to be kind to you, like a monk. The monk often
Poor
is like,
monks.
yeah. This falls into the monk trap of at higher levels. There's nothing to give them.
Here's a
you
bracelet
have to be a
that
little more
augments your
creative.
fists.
Yeah, I think that would work. But like, I think for again like 1 to 8, like whatever most people play as, this is that's almost a non-issue.
It's complete non-issue IMO, and then
Totally
also
not.
you completely bypass the other problem that martial classes have, which is especially at lower levels, the inability to hit through resistance.
True. Fair. Yeah, and you never. It also means you never. Yeah, you never need a magic weapon because it's all
It's psychic damage too, which is like
the best.
very, very, very good.
Yeah.
I think even first or second best damage
I
type
was
in the
gonna say
game, maybe
it
force
must
or
be
psychic.
it must be there up with force damage.
Force damage, yeah.
Might be
I think
better.
I think
there's
I think
like
it could
one
be
or
better.
2 creatures that like resist psychic damage in the game.
Yeah, if you've run into that one specific psychic immune mind flare, I really
Right.
don't know what psychic immune. You're
I
gonna
mean,
be really sad, but you know
At
what?
that point,
so
you
be
just
it.
sit there and you
Yeah.
let your brain get slurped.
Yeah,
Like,
Just like
you're done.
I take the help action.
I lie down and I allow the mind flayer to have my brain.
You
At
like you
this
go
point,
over and like
he
start rummaging
deserves
through
it.
your fighter's pockets. God, is there a dagger in here?
All right, I'd like to interact object with the fighter's satchel, please. Being able to throw is good too. It's like being able to throw is like good, but they're daggers with a range of 60 feet, which is like
Yeah.
super good, right?
People
60
love that fantasy of throwing daggers, but throwing daggers aren't very good innately.
Throwing daggers suck
what is-
ass.
What is the range of throwing daggers innately? Is it 2060?
2060,
It's
I
like
think?
2060.
And if you're a rogue and you use throwing daggers and you're more than 20 feet away, you have disadvantage and therefore can never get sneak attack. So
Yeah,
you have to be close. Not with this subclass though. This subclass gets the full 60.
And if you're within 20 feet, you might as well be within 5 feet.
Or
What
you
does a
can
sharpshooter feat do
sharpshooter.
again?
It's true.
Yes, you can sharpshooter.
sharpshoot?
Sharpshooter
these?
with your you can sharpshooter your
Oh.
throwing daggers.
That's disgusting.
That's really funny.
Wait, that's
I think
disgusting.
I've like theory done a class like that. It's not disgusting. It's
No,
really
hold
not
on. I
that
think-
disgusting.
I think before you make it's a ranged weapon that you're proficient with. I don't know if daggers are considered ranged weapons, are they?
I was pretty sure you could do this.
Doesn't
Maybe
it
I'm
have-
wrong.
Oh.
No, it's a simple melee weapon with the finesse and thrown properties, which is different from a ranged weapon.
Ah.
Fair enough. I guess you can't. I was wrong.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because like it kind of feels like they should count.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But
Well,
I guess
this is obviously
that
really
might
good.
that might obviously just like tilt the favor away from. I don't know. Who cares? The
I'm
ninth level.
already seeing the 9th level feature, and I already think this is gonna be good.
Okay. Feels like a house rule either way. I guess so. If you make an attack roll with your psychic blades and miss the target, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the attack roll. If this causes the attack to hit, you expend the psionic energy die. Oh my god!
That's so good.
That's so
And
good,
it's
and the fact
it's a D8 right now.
and the
it's
fact that
almost
like
gonna be a
none of these
D10.
abilities like actually deplete as a resource unless they succeed is crazy.
Yeah, that's actually insane. This is you. You have at 9th level. You have like 6 misses that you can turn into attacks, or like 6 abilities you can
As
misses.
a
fails,
bonus
you can turn
action,
into
you can
speeds.
manifest one of your psychic blades, expending 1 psionic energy die, and roll it, and throw the blade at an unoccupied space you can see. That's cool as fuck. Up to a number of
Yeah.
feet equal to 10 times the number rolled. Oh my god!
Wait, what?
wait, what? You then teleport to the space, and the blade vanish. You could so at
So
17th
on
level, you
average-
can go up to 120 feet.
Yeah, on average. Although you can also go 10 feet.
At
You can also do
17th
10.
level, you can beef it and go nowhere. Yes, you're correct.
That'd be so funny.
10 feet does get you out of range of opportunity attacks.
For most
This,
places,
okay,
yes, you're
I
correct.
will say though, this is an extremely funny ability. Like, just if you think about it, because like the first initial thought you have of it is it's really cool. It's like you ninja throw a dagger
Yeah.
and then you like make some ninja signs and you like teleport to it. But like in actuality, what's happening is you're kind of like randomly throwing a dagger and it's going a random amount of distance from from 10 feet
You're
to like
lobbing
80
as far
feet.
as you can, and sometimes you just fucking.
Like it just goes, and you're like, well, better luck next time.
I also like that these psychic blades are being thrown in like a parabola, like an arc.
They've got weight to them.
Yeah. And they're psychic. What?
Teleporting
oh
melee
my
fighting
God.
is anime and
This-
so sexy. I 100% agree with you. It's the
And this-
sexiest thing you can do.
This is
Yeah.
a bonus action. You can attack and do this, and or
Yes,
do this
correct.
and attack. This is
Yes.
like so fucking good.
It's great.
Okay.
On average, at this level, it is a 45-foot teleport, which is 50% better than a Misty Step, and it gets better and better.
And
there
you
is a
have
slight
like
problem.
6, 7, 8 of them.
There's a slight problem where at high levels, if you roll, you can accidentally roll too high, and then your next turn you won't be in range to attack.
Wait, you're right. Oh my god, that's so funny.
No. Up to a number of feet.
Oh, okay, you could choose. You could choose. All
okay,
right.
okay, that would be funny. Wait, I'm way over here now. Fuck. Or you throw it, and there's like a cliff 100 feet away,
There
and you throw it
should-
120 feet.
There should
Ah!
be,
Oh
there
my
should be a
God.
class that just randomly teleports you, like at the end of your turn, just like shoop. Oh god, shoop.
Wild magic sorcerer.
Oh man, that should be a wild magic sorcerer
Yeah, it should-
feature.
anyway,
Please.
So
This is really good.
So the thing is, at 9th level, we can already look at this, and this to me has the very clear signs of the long running game design problem, which is that you come up with an interesting mechanic, and because it is so interesting and does things that no other class does, it's like super strong. This is what we call
They
the
overloaded
Sigma.
the shit out of
This
it.
is what we call the Sigma Overwatch problem.
This 9th level feature, replace everything here with this 9th level feature with something out of combat, and this is more balanced. This is so broken.
It's so strong because it's like basically taking every point that a rogue is like good at and then patching up all the ones it's bad at and then making all the good ones even better. Like
Yeah. Anytime the rogue would fail, they make it so you don't fail.
Yeah. So this is a rogue that is good at ranged, and also has all these other features. And we
Yeah.
already considered
Power creep.
a rogue
Yeah,
that's good at
so
range is
real.
pretty decent.
man.
And they do a lot of damage because all those misses are turned to hits.
Yeah, exactly. And you're insanely.
And you're super hard to lock down because you're already really far away, and you can just teleport whenever. You just,
Yep.
you're amazing.
So let's read the
And
last two
you're
of
a rogue.
these. And you're a rogue, yeah. At 13th level, you can weave a veil of psychic static to mask yourself. As an action, you can magically become invisible along with anything you are wearing or carrying for 1 hour, or until you dismiss this effect, no action required. This invisibility ends early, immediately after you deal damage to a creature, or you force a creature to make a saving throw. You can't finish it until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a sonic energy die to use this feature again. Okay.
This is a more reasonable feature. I think it's good. This is
good, yeah.
Broken. I like it.
This to me is like what the benchmark for abilities should kind of look like, because it's interesting. It's like not too out there. It's pretty in line with what a rogue wants to be doing, and like there's a resource that you can you're gonna enjoy using it, and like there's a resource that you can manage to use it more often if you need to. I feel like the big problem with a lot of abilities sometimes is that like you get locked into using it. You get locked into the situation where you're like, I don't want to use it now. Like, what if I have to use it later today, right?
I mean, this also patches that first turn of combat where rogues often don't have sneak attack. You're definitely gonna have sneak attack when you're invisible.
Yeah.
1
Also,
hour
like,
means this is incredibly easy to pre-buff.
Yeah, and it ends after you deal damage to a creature. So even if you miss, you can do it again.
True.
I hadn't thought about that, but you have advantage and can add a D
funny?
like 10 to your roll. So, but that is very funny. I love that.
I think this is very good.
I think this just reveals that when you kind of like bolt on an extra mechanic to a subclass, it usually ends up making it really strong.
Well, when you look at Spores Druid.
Well, yeah, but that's not like a resource mechanic, right? This is like a resource management kind of like thing where it lets you do a bunch of other stuff. Spore Druid is just kind of like you sit there and you let enemies sort of like vaguely choke. Kind of.
They take a little tiny bit of
piddly amount of damage. You become Caustic Apex Legends, but like bad. But like when Caustic was like a shit tier hero that like had nothing. Okay. 17th level, you can sweep your Psychic Blade directly through a creature's mind. When you use your Psychic Blades to deal sneak attack damage to a creature, you can force that creature to make a Wisdom saving throw, 8 plus proficiency plus your Dexterity mod. If the save fails, the target is stunned for 1 minute.
Whoa!
Wow. The stunned target can repeat the saving throw if at the end of its turns, ending the effect on a success, and you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend 3 psionic energy dice to use again.
And you just keep doing them. Wow.
That's
17th level. You have how many of them do you have at this
17th
point?
level, you have 12.
12 to 13. So it's not cheap, but you might still do it again.
It's not cheap, but it's
but your first one's free.
Decidedly usable.
Yeah. So good. Wisdom save is all right.
Okay.
There's 0 action economy penalty because it just happens.
Yeah.
You just do it when you're doing the thing you're always doing.
It's like Stunning Strike.
Yeah, but the first one's free. Okay, what's the DC? Yeah.
It's 8 plus your proficiency plus dexterity mod, which is
what's your DC gonna be at 17? You think?
At 17th level, it's gonna be 19.
19 is the max DC without absurdities.
Yeah. There's a lot of creatures that won't have very good wisdom. It might just be stunned for the rest of combat.
Yeah. Also, I totally agree. I like the direction that these classes are generally pulling the game in. I do kind of wish they would just refresh all of the ones in the PHB. If they were going to like, reprint it or make 5.5 or whatever. The thing is, like, I think for 5th edition they've been way more willing to patch things. So I kind of just wish they would put out like a 5.1 book, you know? Just be like, okay, we made Assassin not like dog shit.
It's not even Assassin's not even the most egregious one.
No, it's not. It's a Frenzy Barbarian.
It's Frenzy Barbarian, correct.
Champion fighter. Champion.
Yeah, I really did enjoy 4E, and there's some archetypes from 4E that I like really that we don't have in 5E that I really want. Like I played the Assassin Rogue in 4E was like a poison based like assassin, which was really fun, I think, and I played that, which was great.
It took them 3 iterations of Soul Knife to make it to this point, and they somehow made it by far the most broken rogue. How the fuck up?
Wait, really? Oh my god, that's so funny.
Listen,
you're right. 2019, 2020, and then the one that came out in Tasha's.
How did they not fucking read any of the feedback?
Were they broken back then? I seem to remember they were good, but I seem to recall most of what they fixed was the clunkiness, like the fact that it was a bonus action to manifest two psychic blades, so you had that awkward cadence of one throw, two throw, one throw, two throw.
Oh yeah, that was a problem.
I think that was a problem that they had with Soul Knife. Dan understands that problem.
I do. It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
So I believe that was one of their fixes.
So, yeah, I mean, I can see people complaining about that, but at the same time, like, I feel like D&D has moved in the direction of being more like a live service game where they're more willing to add like sage advice and errata and
like Hearthstone.
They're like right, but like they're
Compared to
already
Magic the Gathering.
They've already published newer editions of the book that have all of the problems like edited out and all the erratas like in sage advice is put in, and like the version of the book that I have, the 50 player's handbook is a first like edition printing, so it has all of the jank left in it, and if I wanted to get the proper version I'd have to buy a new book, right? I don't think like yes, I understand fucking nerds will complain about anything, but
Josh, that's them solving the issue you're complaining about. That's their solution.
Yeah,
like that's a good thing, arguably, that they did that, right? Because you want them to errata it and fix it in future printings. What you're arguing earlier is that you want them to go farther and basically reprint it with new, just modifying the subclasses base, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I want them to make an updated version. 5.5 is announced, you think? Oh, interesting.
No way.
That would actually be pretty Gucci. And
I like the removal of racial stats.
That's fine.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Of racial stats? Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually,
that's something I've always advocated for.
Yeah.
We don't even fucking play with like the like racial sort of like tie-ins that we normally do. We just like choose one of these, like you could just take any one of them you want and like skin it however you want. It doesn't matter. Weird nerds gonna be mad about that. Oh, they're mad about fucking everything. They're like, oh, you people in medieval Europe didn't have wheelchairs. It's like, well, okay, people in medieval Europe didn't have fucking dragons. Like this rogue is literally throwing blades made of psychic energy,
and they bounce off the ground and make weird sounds.
They go in a parabola. They have a parabolic arc to them.
My favorite thing has always actually been the fact that Dan here, who's like these people are like, no, it's woke bullshit, and it's like, first of all, fuck you, but second of all, Dan's been over here arguing for years that it's also just shitty design.
It's also
play what they want this is the thing they want.
Right? This is the thing about most things, which is
constricts design.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna take a look at this one. But yeah, this is the thing about like most ways that we look at the world that people are really like vehemently defensive of is that most of them are pretty like garbage, right? Like it's the idea of like the BMI as like a measure of health, which is that it's like completely backwards and terrible. But even if like it worked as intended, which it doesn't, because under the BMI, the Rock is considered like a morbidly obese person. Right, and that's not true, right? But even if it was, like, that's just not how we should structure the world. But like that's the thing, is that a lot of times these problems of like wokeness and whatever, right, are also just like at their base like kind of like stemming from like shit design, right? It's like people are so attached to the way that to tradition and the way that they view the world that they're not willing to recognize that actually like even just like logistically this is kind of bad.
Okay, so on the subclass, can we compare it to Phantom?
Yeah. I feel like
I think the only question here is it S tier or something above S tier?
Oh, that's a good.
No,
question.
It's not. I don't think it's. Well, let's see.
That's why I asked. That's why I'm asking to compare to Phantom.
I think. Okay, no, hold on. I think it is better. I don't know.
No way.
Phantom is Ghost Walk. Remember?
There's no way it's better. The reason it's not better.
Phantom has Ghost Walk and doubles their the
sneak attack and gets proficiency in con saves.
Oh god. No, I think I think they must be in the same tier.
I was gonna ask if it's better than Arcane Trickster. I was gonna be
easily.
okay.
I am
100%.
Even without Fireball.
Even without Fireball.
Yes.
All right.
It's funny because like
you
Fireball isn't
guys.
even that big of a consideration for this list.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Heresy?
I'm sorry.
I mean, Arcane Trickster should have its own tier above S because it has access to Fireball.
Thank you.
Yes, good.
That's better.
How sad is it that we had to invent a new tier for a cleric that could cast Fireball, but a rogue that can cast Fireball is like it's not.
Okay, to be fair, the cleric could maximize Fireball.
Okay, then you make a good point there. All right.
I'll be right back. I gotta get my food. You can start.
Okay,
next.
all right.
But should Arcane Trickster be S tier?
No, stop. Get out of here.
I got so much shit for saying that Fireball isn't the be all end all. I'm gonna
How
keep
dare
bringing
you
this up.
die?
Yeah, I know you've convinced me. I'm gonna commit to the bit. All right, it should be S tier because it can cast
Oh
Fireball.
my god, stop it. Okay, I'm gonna look at these new D&D roles. So in Tasha's, they've added some new rules. Which
None of these were new. None of the ones listed were new.
spell points instead of spell. Oh yeah, these are pretty old. Getting max damage on your first set of dice on critical hits makes sense. Swap initiative rolls with each other. That could potentially be.
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, that could potentially be okay. Making resurrections more strict using the critical roll method. I don't know what the critical roll method is.
I don't know it either. But first of all, how dare they?
And the Fireball Master conspiracy. Yeah, where do the lies end? Let's see.
What is the taxed bonus action? Can take an
Interesting.
that could be so broken, but also not.
Yeah.
How broken is that?
Well, it would be extremely broken for fighters.
Yeah, just constant action surges. I'm trying to figure out what other class. It would be really good on paladins. It would be pretty bad on spellcasters. Huh.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Drinking potions is a bonus action. I feel like that's just kind of common sense. Drinking a potion is like such a waste of action economy. It's so painful.
It really is. Yeah, I'm super down.
I remember
with
when
that
I was one of the characters that I played back in the day was a thief rogue who I basically played as an alchemist who would use like all of the random shit in the PHB like healing potions and healing kits and all that kind of stuff because you can interact with them as a bonus action.
Yeah.
That was
you can
pretty fun.
actually use them. How about that?
it was pretty fun. But you really hard fall off after like 6th level or so.
Yeah, once people get
like the
Fireball.
items in the book don't scale at all, which is like one thing I will say about like about Pathfinder, which is that like items scale all the way the fuck through.
Oh, that's nice.
There's so many items in this goddamn book, in this goddamn game.
So hello, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Okay.
We were just talking about how potions feel bad.
And
Yeah.
some of these bonus rules that were linked in chat as in this laptop mag article, you would like and hate the taxed bonus action optional rule.
Bonus action.
You can take an
God.
action as a bonus action at the risk of exhaustion. You roll a con save against a set DC.
That's a stupid rule. And then wait, then what if you just have high con? You just can do it whenever you want?
Yeah, you'd have to come up with rules to like increase the DC each time. I was trying to figure out where it breaks because like it's really good on fighters, but on the other hand, they already have action surge. Although it's taxed with it. Oh no, yeah, you can't.
Where are we reading this
Make
feature?
a fuck ton.
Paladins would be so good. The laptop mag
Paladins
article
would be
linked by
busted.
Fawn.
Oh, wait, is that a new thing that they're considering for 5.5?
No, I think these are rules
this
that
an article?
the article writer uses in the
okay.
game.
Yeah, it's just homebrew.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's talk about Swashbuckler, which I was so excited when this class came out. This was one of the first expansion classes that was in Skag, and
Yeah.
then
Don't
they
call
put it
it
in
that.
Xanathars.
Oh, it's listed. It's listed as
it's,
Xanathars
it's
here,
listed under Xanathars.
but in our hearts, we know it's in Skag.
It's a Skag book.
It's a Skag rogue.
Skag Rogue! Oh, I hate that.
No.
Okay, anyway. Fancy footwork. When you use this archetype at 3rd level, you learn how to land a strike and then slip away without reprisal. During your turn, if you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature cannot make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn. And then also at 3rd level, your confidence propels you into battle. You can give yourself a bonus to initiative rolls equal to your charisma modifier. You also gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on the attack roll to use your sneak attack against a creature if you are within 5 feet of it, no other creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. All the other rules for sneak attack still apply to you.
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, so to be clear, this is a really clunky way of saying you get sneak attack if you're 1v1ing. Or not strictly true. You get sneak
Not
attack if there's
strictly
only
true.
one creature near you.
Correct. So if there is a line of creatures in front of you, like a thunderbolt bait like line, and you
Yeah.
Lightning bolt?
you're only there. Lightning bolt, yeah. And you're there only in front of the first one. You can still get this.
You're right. So it's more sneak attack. It's also always
also
sneak attack in a
so-
1v1 scenario, which is
It's
very
so-
nice.
This is so janky because everybody always interprets this incorrectly and uses it
Yeah.
incorrectly. They're like, oh, it
It's
just means you get
poorly
sneak
written.
attack all the time. It's like, no.
Yeah, I thought that too.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
It's.
I remember you
it
guys
is-
telling me that.
Yeah, I was very wrong. I've since learned my mistake.
Yeah, it turns out
it's
reading
more niche than
comprehension
that.
is not our strong suit.
It's very difficult to parse that reading, especially
is.
since it references sneak attack as well.
Now, has anyone played this?
I have played this.
And how do you feel about it? This
It was
feature.
alright. It was okay.
How
It's-
much would it help you? Like,
Like,
how much
okay,
damage?
okay, this is kind of my estimation, right? If being a base rogue is like a 1, and being
Yeah.
a rogue that can sneak attack everything no matter what the circumstance is a 5, this feels kind of like a 2.5 to 3.
Okay, no, but don't put that rogue at a 5. What is a rogue that can sneak attack all the time? Actually, like, how much percentage better is a rogue that can sneak attack all the time like worth 1.3 rogues that can only sneak attack normally?
Okay, yeah, so that's the other measure, and I think I feel like a rogue that can sneak attack all the time is probably anywhere from 1.3 to 1.5 times as effective.
I think. Okay, maybe, and
I think it's more like 1.5 times effective, just because we know dual wielding rogues do a lot more damage than ranged rogues
True.
on
Mhm.
average.
This one is what is the two? I like this very specifically because it does two things.
Uh-huh.
One,
It appeals to the
It-
male fantasy of playing Inigo Montoya.
it does
Okay.
three things. One is one of those things is it gives you bonus to initiative, which is always
Which is
really
always
good.
yeah.
And then it immediately solves the problem of having high initiative on rogues, which is the fact
true.
that you can get sneak attack without your allies being near them. That was
True.
our complaint about
You make,
a different
you
rogue
make a good point
subclass.
there. Actually, I
That-
think
And if the enemies are standing like next to each other, just go for the one on the side.
On the
Right.
edge, yeah. You're pretty.
you know what?
I think you're always gonna have sneak
This
attack
is-
on that first
this
attack.
ability is actually slightly better than I thought it than I remembered it being, because I used to think it was really good, and then I thought it was kind of like and then reading it now, like it's kind of somewhere in the middle actually.
Yeah,
You're completely right,
Same.
right? You're usually gonna go first if you put a couple points into charisma, and you can just single out one creature that you can safely square up against, and then you can get a sneak attack on the first round of combat, and that seems pretty okay.
That seems pretty okay, but like, so does the assassin. The assassin.
Yeah,
one
is
also
it better than the
this.
assassin? I really don't know.
I
I'm
think
not
it
sure.
is straight up because assassin
Uh-huh. Yeah.
always has sneak attack against the target if it goes ahead of them, but has no way of guaranteeing that it goes ahead of them. This one has both. This one has you get more initiative and you get sneak attack. The only thing it doesn't have is advantage, which I will grant you assassin is there. But I still like this better solely
true.
because you
Swashbuckler was
you
top
go,
tier
yeah.
rogue.
You go in there, you're probably gonna hit because you're just gonna swing twice with your melee
Correct,
weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Okay.
and then as an aside, you then get to run away.
Yeah, I was like, you probably take like dual wielder or something. I will say this about Swashbuckler is that I 100% agree that Swashbuckler is great just because pirates fuck. Like, who doesn't love a pirate? Come on.
I feel like this is more of a Dread Pirate Roberts than an Inigo Montoya.
I
Fair.
guess. You know what? You
actually.
make a good point there. You make a good point there.
Technically, Dread Pirate Roberts did win that fight anyway.
Ah, amazing. Okay, but like, this is okay. So we can say this is slightly better than the Assassin's third level advantage feature.
I
But the
think so.
Assassin also has that occasional sneak attack crit thing, or like
Yeah.
a surprise round crit. But this has the fancy footwork. Let me ask, how often does fancy footwork actually come up?
I don't know.
And I feel like it doesn't come up as often as we'd think.
Probably
I feel
not.
like you can
'Cause
make
it's
it.
only that one creature. If there's
I feel like
multiple
you can
creatures.
make it come up. Like you can
Two
use
creatures.
it. You can use it pretty much like for whatever
guess.
reason. If you
I guess
want
you
to.
To be clear, you don't have to hit them. You just have to make a melee
So
attack
two
against them.
creatures. I don't know. I don't value it that much when rogues have bonus action disengage.
Yeah, I
I
would
think
say
it's good. I think it's all right.
I think it's insanely good against one target.
True.
It's unbelievably good against the solo boss because you bonus action dash out of there,
Yeah, and you hit him and then you're gone. And then
Yeah.
you go in and then you're gone again.
and there's nothing you can do to stop you. And sometimes you want to, if you miss on the first attack, then you're probably not going to be gone. But at least you can choose between being gone or attacking again. Like you
But
have
how will
that
you-
option.
But your next turn, you'll have to dash to get in. And then you won't be able to get back out again.
No,
Yeah,
you can
mobile feet without the increased movements. That's the thing is like even if you have the ability to just get out, you still need to be able to go back in, and then like you're kind of in that weird 1-2 situation where like you have to spend one turn there and then like one turn out.
Not if
Every
you
other
always-
turn, the boss can't hit you.
Not if you always go the same amount each time. If you have 30 feet of movement, you're dashing every turn. You have
Yeah.
effectively 60 feet of movement. You can 30
That's
feet
not enough.
in, attack 30 feet out. It
You need
depends on how
35.
fast. Yeah, ideally, yeah, you need slightly more. Or alternatively, you don't need 35. You just need to go in and out and not be there, so that the barbarian that's
True.
sitting on the boss,
True, yeah.
takes the beating for you.
You
Or
really like-
the
He's
barbarian
probably
gets
not going
an
to chase
opportunity
you.
attack.
If
It
Yeah.
follows the flow of
realistically,
things.
you're probably just going to be 15 feet away from the enemy at the end of each turn.
Which is
But
like
yeah,
well enough if you have
And
other
making 2
allies.
attacks.
Yeah,
You're going to be making 2 attacks and being 15 feet away from the enemy at each turn. And that's actually really good.
yeah,
that's
not
pretty
bad.
solid.
or one attack in 30
will-
feet. Yeah.
So
True.
I'm gonna address this comment that Mads made because I think this is something that like that I noticed reading through it is like I would say like in general the actual rhythm of playing this class is like extremely evident, which is
Go in, you
weirdly
go out.
satisfying
Mm-hmm.
in a way that some other classes are not necessarily. I
Ooh,
kind of
wait,
I kind of
fucker.
like when a class has a flow to it. Anyway, shall we read the rest of these abilities?
No.
Okay. All right.
We can read
Next.
it. I just vaguely remember them being underwhelming, but we shall
Yeah,
see.
well,
Maybe
at
I'm
9th
wrong.
level, your charm becomes extraordinarily beguiling. As an action, you
Oh.
can make a charisma persuasion check contested by a creature's wisdom insight check. The creature must be able to hear you, and the two of you must share a language. If you succeed on the check and the creature is hostile to you, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you and can't make opportunity attacks against targets other than you. This effect lasts for 1 minute until one of your companions attacks the target. Or affects you with a
Oh.
spell, or until you and the target are more than 60 feet apart. If you succeed on the
Never
check,
mind.
if you succeed on the check and the creature is not hostile to you, it is charmed by you for 1 minute. While charmed, it regards you as a friendly acquaintance. This effect ends immediately if you or your companions do anything harmful to it.
This is like in a solo campaign, if you're doing solo missions and stuff where you're away from this party, that's all right.
No,
yeah,
it doesn't.
it's weird because it has this like bizarre aggro mechanic.
Oh, and
Yeah.
solo, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't do anything when
Yeah,
you're solo.
no. So this is a really interesting ability for the tank. Guess what? You're not as a rogue.
Well, it's also
Yeah.
not that
tank.
useful as an ability for a tank because the effect ends if you do anything to the target.
Well, that's
Okay, wait. Here's what I
If
said.
they do anything, you just do it on the target that no one's
Occasionally.
attacking.
Occasionally, this is really good. And what it needs to be really good is you need to roll just barely higher than the boss on initiative.
Right, yeah.
So his turn is always right after yours.
I got you.
Then it's good.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
super
then
clunky.
And then all it does is eat your action every turn, Dan.
Why?
Because
You have
as
to-
an
it
action,
takes an
you get
Oh,
action
it's
to
an
do this.
action. Ugh.
Yeah, this is very specific. Yeah.
No, this is
Um,
bad. This is really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
this
like
is
maybe
hard to
there's one
use.
enemy a million miles away that is
think-
ranged, and you
God.
can't. I'm thinking about it now in terms of MMO terms, but your tank can't pull aggro on it because the DPS don't fucking LOS
Like,
behind the corner.
okay, this,
like
this is the
dumbasses.
problem, right?
What?
Is
Yeah.
you don't think panache was used
Or yes,
ever?
they.
Yeah, like why would you? Like, okay,
Yeah,
the one situation in which, as a rogue, you want to be targeted is when you're able to manipulate it so that you can not be there anymore. And then they have to basically do everything with the disadvantage, right? Like that's what Dan was talking about with like going right before the boss. But like that's such a rare occasion. The other thing that you would want is not even supported by this ability, right? Because the thing that you are really good at as a rogue is you're good at taking like one big attack a turn because you can uncanny dodge it, or evading, right? But this
Yeah.
doesn't actually do anything that makes casters more likely to target you, right? If this ability
True.
was like able to essentially draw aggro from casters, it would actually, like, the value of it would, I think, go up at least a little bit, right? If you become
it
the,
probably still
the
wouldn't be worth your
fireball
action in
target.
most cases, but
yeah. Rogue tempting things to attack him seems like a recipe for not good.
I mean,
Rogue-
unless
I don't
unless
even
they
think you
only
want
make
the spell cast.
rogues
dexterity
are,
like saves.
are number one on the scoreboard in any of our campaigns for character deaths.
Yeah, like I don't think you want any attention drawn to you. Even if they're a spellcaster, you're like one fucking cone of cold away from done for, buddy.
Yeah,
That's true.
Okay,
You make one con save and you're donezo.
Ignoring the combat utilities
Yes,
of Panache,
yeah.
which I think are almost zero. How about out of combat? Is this valuable?
I think
this
it
okay?
is. It's like all right, right? Like it's basically a free. It's like basically a free charm person. It doesn't require a spell slot.
Infinite uses, right?
Infinite uses.
Wait, can you just spam it on someone?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
there's
they'll
nothing that says you
eventually
can't.
succeed. They'll eventually.
So what happens when they
Jack.
succeed?
It doesn't
They're not
fucking
immune- they're not-
specify.
They're not immune to it for 20 more hours. They
Yeah,
succeed,
it
you just
doesn't
do
even
again.
say what happens when you. It just nothing happens if you don't succeed.
God, I
I
hate
You
guess.
just do it again and again. You just keep spamming it, and you just say, "Hey, nice ass."
Hey,
Ew, what
nice
the
ass.
fuck?
Hey,
nice ass.
It's like
Ew, what's up? Hey, nice
it's like trying to
thank
date
you.
somebody in a video game. You're just like, here's a flower. Here's a flower.
Yeah.
Here's a flower.
God.
It's the oblivion mechanic of charming someone over and over again until it works.
Where you just click bribe nonstop because you're too lazy to play the minigame?
Yes, I have like 200,000
Sims
gold.
flirting. Yeah.
Okay, this is a weird fucking
Wait,
mechanic.
This is
But
a
the fact
weird
that it-
feature.
But the fact that you can just spam this,
This-
and
okay.
you're guaranteed to make it
I
work
was
at
like-
some point.
This is potentially very strong if you're the face
Yeah.
of the party, I guess. And like
Even if you're not.
even if you're not, right, like the fact that you can just kind of brute force like password hack attack a person's like charmed ability, right? It's like I guess so.
Well, let's be clear here. They don't do everything you say. Friendly acquaintance is not the most powerful charm in the world.
It's
put
not
it
it's
that
not
way.
the most powerful charm, but like what you're gonna be using this for isn't like I need you to do my every bidding. Swashbuckler off face. Yeah. It's
But
like
even
yeah,
if
you're-
even your face is gonna be happy because I trust you guys. I have my friendly acquaintance in your party. I don't know.
like I think it's a usable ability,
I think so
especially
too.
in situations in which like your outcasts are strangers or like nobody trusts you because you're fucking adventurers, and that is like it's obvious that you shouldn't trust
Oh,
adventurers, right?
We're assuming that they don't know that they were charmed, right?
I don't
It
even
does
know,
not
but
say they
I don't.
know.
I don't think it also. I almost don't think it matters if you can just brute force charm them anyway.
No, because you could brute force. Because if that were the case, Friends would be a good spell. The reason Friends is a bad spell is because after 1 minute they know you fucked with them.
That's true.
But
But
this does
friends
not
also.
explicitly
Yeah, I was
say
say
that,
friends
so it
specifies that,
doesn't-
but this
so they
doesn't, which
don't know.
means which implies that
Which-
they don't know.
Which is why I
Yeah.
wanted to establish that going forward.
Yeah. No,
I
I
think
think,
that would
amazing.
depend.
Like literally just walk up to like the king of a country and just say nice ass repeatedly until he likes you.
Focusing on a little immersion might start to turn awkward. Yes, correct. This is one of those like this is one of those things where charms become like a really weird, awkward mechanic for how to engage with the game because it feels a little bit like too much like you're being a sex pest.
Or just ambiguous. Who knows how?
It doesn't have to be sexual, I guess.
It depends.
No, but you know what I mean though. Like a guy at a bar who's just like who won't leave you alone. He's just like, "Can I get your number though?"
Yes. If you want to play it that way, sure.
Creepy.
Listen,
Thanks.
charms in general are pretty creepy.
I know, and
Yes.
but more importantly, I agree. But for the sake of power level, I have no clue where to rate this because I think it's so dependent on so much. I guess it's good, but I almost don't want to see it as such because
I
think it's
it's so.
I think it is good. I don't think it's actually that hard to rate as an out of combat thing. Think of it compared to the bard that's good at persuasion that just makes them better at persuasion.
Yeah.
I think I value this very similar to that actually.
Yeah. I mean,
clunkier.
It's a little clunkier. You only have a minute, mind you.
Yeah, but then you just spam it again.
You just do it. You just re-up it. You're like, oh, sorry, I gotta rotate again. Pew, 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 pew.
Hey, wait a minute! I don't like you. Oh wait, I love you. No, I mean you're my buddy.
No, you guys.
You're my buddy. You're my buddy. I corrected it.
Hold on. To be clear, like we're on the same page here. An acquaintance is not your friend, right?
A friendly acquaintance. Like this is somebody that you go to. This is somebody that you go to like work with, who's just like, my kid had a birthday party the other day.
It's a coworker.
No, but you're friendly with them.
Friendly coworker.
It's like a coworker. No, it's like a
coworkers that are just acquaintances, and you're not friendly with.
So it's like
yeah, they exist.
It's like when you
so
see.
much.
It's like when you see a coworker outside of work, like at the Safeway. You're like, hey, how's it going? Hey, man, yeah, right.
It doesn't have to be that awkward.
I think it should for this.
Anyway.
Why do you
feel
want
like
it to be awkward?
the ability has the hallmarks of what makes PHP classes less well written than newer ones. They feel like they straight forget wording. Yeah, like this is
Yeah, but this isn't PHP though. Right?
This is it was in
pretty much
Skag, which was
PHP.
pretty much PHP.
Yeah, right. It was the first expansion.
Skag was like 1.1, right? So the thing is about this is I would say this is extremely up to interpretation at the end of the day because it does not explicitly say that they know that you charmed them or that they know that you tried to charm them. And at the same time, it doesn't explicitly say they don't know, right? And there are spells and effects that do both, that specify one or the other, and this one doesn't. So it's hard to say.
I was gonna go with it means they like you a bit more, but it doesn't explicitly give you like it doesn't mean you're gonna wheedle that password out of them any easier, right? Because while you're a friendly acquaintance, they're still not gonna tell their friendly acquaintance all of their details.
I think that's not necessarily what you be using it for.
Okay, here's a way I might view this actually. This actually might have zero magic attached to it. You might just be really charming. Like you might literally just say something that's super complimentary, like, "Wow, no one's ever said something that nice about my hair." And then for the next minute, they're kind of beaming at you.
Yeah, and they like you a bit more. That makes sense.
Yeah, this isn't to like deep dive into somebody's like psyche and be like, I think that the reason that you are so broken up all the time is because your childhood dog died or whatever, right? I think this is like you go into town and you're like, carousing for information.
Yeah, and you're just like, hey, old man, I really like your cane. Was that mahogany?
Knowing the perfect thing to say to someone does seem like a preternatural skill at times. I mean, yeah. Well, let's fuck. We've been on this for so long. Can we move on?
Yeah.
13th level, bonus action. Gain advantage on the next dexterity, acrobatics, or strength athletics check you make during the same turn. I feel like you are almost never using this in combat.
This is really, really bad.
Unless you are a strength rogue grappler.
Yeah.
Don't be a strength rogue grappler.
I feel like athletics checks.
Wait, can't you expertise athletics? Oh, baby, I have an idea for a new character.
No. But it's 13th level, and you have to use your bonus. Oh my god, you have to use your bonus.
Wrestle rogue. Completely unrelated.
No. Acrobatics checks. I've never seen an acrobatics check with a higher DC than like fucking like 20.
Yeah, like
at most.
at the point at which an acrobatics DC is high enough that you want to be having advantage and expertise in something, it's
Yeah.
something that like is usually physically impossible. You're aiming for that 30 at that point.
I don't know. This is not a good feature.
It's not great.
What are you saying, Sean?
Gwen brought me a hazelnut latte and a cat, and we had to remove the cat, but the hazelnut latte is still here, so I'm back.
Yeah, I also got some coffee delivered to me.
Philip really likes my closet, it turns out.
Oh, baby.
To our detriment.
Baby.
Advantage on acrobatics or athletics. Hey, it's not. Oh, it takes a bonus action. Come
Yep.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Come
They could have just said you always have advantage.
Right?
on
It's
these two
not
checks,
good
and
at
it wouldn't be that
13.
good.
It would barely be okay at 3.
Yeah. Oh shit! It's 13. Athletics, grappling.
Amazing.
Don't get
Okay,
me
yeah,
wrong.
grapple is a
Ability
rogue, never
checks,
mind.
I think, sometimes
You're
get
gonna
a
die.
little overlooked in terms of how useful they are, but this just is not it. At 13th
No.
level, it just is not it. It feels like a ribbon feature.
Yep.
This feels like before they invented ribbon features. They were like, here you go, here's a feature.
This is that like this is for that campaign where you're on a ship and your GM makes you have to roll acrobatics or
Every
athletics
single turn,
time
yeah.
every time you climb up like to your crow's nest or some bullshit.
If you're being showy and flying at high levels, you don't want to fuck it up. Yeah, it'd be extremely funny. Just like, high flying, swashbuckling rogue, get on that rope swing, you swing, and then you realize, oh fuck, you fall and you break your back.
Mm.
Okay, anyway, at
Okay, but
17th level,
last
your
feature, yeah.
mastery of the blade lets you turn failure into success in combat. If you miss with an attack roll, you can roll it again with advantage. And once you do so, you can't use this until you finish a short or long rest. Oh my god.
Wait a minute.
Wait
a
what?
minute.
That doesn't Rogue get
Something's-
reliable talent at like 20?
Something's amiss here.
Yeah.
Something's not quite right.
This feels redundant.
To be fair,
Stroke
it's just
of
stroke
luck.
of luck, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only get it once per short rest.
You also only get stroke
Stroke
of luck once per short rest.
I guess it's all right. It's
You
pretty
get
good.
two
This
of them,
is-
and you get it earlier. It's
I
just
think
that the better.
it's like good because obviously for rogues making sure that you hit
Yeah.
with your attacks is really important, and like
Yeah.
weirdly it's almost like you could use this to get advantage to get sneak attack if you otherwise couldn't, which is
True.
weird, but that's a very niche way of doing
Yeah.
that, and it would not be that good.
It's not a bad feature, but at 17th level, it's just you turn one miss into a hit.
Super underwhelming.
It's great. Whatever.
It's like technically good. We're just kind of sad because Rogue already gets that
Yeah,
just
to
a
me-
few levels later.
To me,
At
this
least it
feels
stacks with it, sort of,
in
kind of.
general like a pretty low impact class in terms
Yeah.
of what it's doing for us. It's giving you sneak attack slightly more of the time.
Although now I want to play it just to spam panache.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
I'm sort of my mind wants to just delete panache from my mind because like even people who have you could be the first person ever to actually use panache, Dan, because no one fucking does when they
I would
play
be
this
curious to
rogue.
see somebody.
Have you played it?
No, to be fair,
I
I've
haven't played it.
theorycrafted
Man,
a lot around it, but
I
I've
gotta,
never played
I gotta
it.
say this about rogues is that like I know rogues get a lot of like really good abilities from the base class, but it's like sometimes just a little painful to go like 6 levels like in the levels that most people play without getting a feature that's unique to your class.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as a capstone goes, is a really boring capstone.
For most
Yeah.
campaigns, it's your 3rd level feature, and that's it.
But we don't rate the capstone that heavily, so
Yeah, which is fine. It's like it's a fine capstone. It's just not good. Like not exciting really.
I'm not upset at the subclass for being underpowered. I'm upset at the designers for not being more interesting on that one.
Correct. How much work
But
is
yeah,
it to make
it's-
high level abilities more unique and flavorful? Yeah, they started really boring.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot better
Skag.
since.
That's like the hallmark of Skag.
So
We
in
say that,
terms
and
of-
then like in the same book, like they put the Blade Singers.
Listen,
hey, in terms of power level, what do you guys think? I think this is pretty much dead on with like Assassin, like in C
I
tier.
agree, 100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was at.
it might be B tier with Inquisitive. No, Inquisitive has the skill
No.
checks. That's the only thing it has going for it
Yeah.
over this.
Yeah.
And
I could be
Inquisitive-
persuaded to be, but I will accept
Inquisitive
C.
also has the earlier level get a sneak attack where you might not otherwise.
No, but so does Swashbuckler.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Phantom
They're
is Soul
both
Knife
level
at S.
3.
Yeah, of course.
They're both level 3, but so they both have that. But Inquisitive has out of combat features, and Swashbuckler doesn't really.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts it down a tier. Because Inquisitive has
also
a lot
like,
of out of combat shenanigans.
Panache is just like it's just like one thing basically, right?
Yeah.
Your domain of like doing things is like much smaller than Inquisitive, because Inquisitive
You're just
can
smooth
actually
as fuck.
do things, right? Like a lot of the times, and this is like a weird problem with D&D, which is like a lot of the times you are not around other people, and if you are, sometimes you can just role play your way out of a situation. You don't even need the dice there.
So, should we move on to Thief?
Yeah, let's move on to Thief, which I have played a Thief. I've played a lot of rogues when I actually think about it.
Yeah, rogues are common.
So at 3rd level, you get fast hands.
It's so short. Yay!
Look at the size of this text
It's
box.
so small. I love it.
It's so juicy. I love this. I love
This is
class.
base PHB. Oh my god.
You can
Oh,
use the
so
bonus
charming.
action granted by your cunning action to make a sleight of hand check, use your thieves' tools to disarm a trap or open a lock, or take the use an object action, which
Potion Chugger.
this is the
Oh,
one.
no.
This is the one, boys.
We're gonna have to have a discussion. Wait, do we want to read the whole class first?
Yes. It's so short, we might as well. When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you gain the ability to climb faster than normal. Climbing no longer costs you extra movement. In addition, when you make a running jump, the distance you cover increases by a number of feet equal to your dexterity modifier.
Great.
Cool. You can jump 3 more feet. Congratulations. Supreme Sneak. You have advantage on stealth checks if you move no more than half your speed on the same turn. And at 13th, you have learned enough of... Okay, this one's really funny. You have learned enough about the workings of magic that you can improvise the use of items even when they are not intended for you. You ignore all class, race, and level requirements on the use of magic items.
Level? I
Yeah.
didn't know there were level requirements.
I think
That's so RPG. Like, you must... No, sorry, you can't
must be
equip this
15th
helmet. It
level
requires
to
30.
proceed.
It requires level 15.
I think certain items, I think you have to have levels in certain classes.
My realization with this feature is if there are items that you can't use as a rogue, typically they're garbage on a rogue anyway. Like,
Yeah, I mean that
like,
that is
sure,
that
you
is
can use that
true.
paladin sword, that long sword that you can't sneak attack with. Okay, great.
Yeah, that was sort of gonna be my point. Oh my god.
Let's see. Magic items with level restrictions. I want to look this up. I need to know.
I need to know too. You know.
It's fine. Okay, let's see. Examples of items that have class requirements, Rod of the Pact Keeper, and of items that have race requirements, e.g. Moonblade. However, I can't find any examples of items that are level-based. The Sword of Zariel is a possible candidate.
So
What?
this is
That doesn't even
this
exist, does it?
this is one
It's
of
in
those,
Avernus!
I have that book behind me right now.
The sword is destroyed if used to shatter the companion, unless the blade is wielded by an angel of challenge rating 15 or higher, or a
Oh
good
my
aligned-
god!
Yeah,
What page is this on?
I don't know, but we have the text. Or
I
a
wanna
good
read
aligned
more.
cleric or paladin of at least 10th level. There you go.
Wow, so it does have a level requirement in addition to a class one. That's
However,
wild.
a rogue would not be able to sneak
Yeah,
attack
why would a
with this.
rogue use it? I mean, okay,
Well-
I will say hacking a moonblade is really funny if it's a short sword.
Are those finesse? Oh, if they're short swords.
If it's a short sword,
Yeah, but can't they use moonblades anywhere? Do you have to be an elf?
you have to be an elf.
Okay,
So that's
which
why
is,
they
you
get
know,
to ignore that.
Half of all fucking races.
Yeah,
I
you-
think it might and this person on RPG Stack Exchange says it might be related to spell scrolls, because spell scrolls usually require you to be able to cast the level of the spell intended.
Whoa! Do those count as magic items?
I think so. Yeah.
That would actually be amazing if spell scrolls can have weird rulings on them. I usually do them different, so everyone can do
There
them.
isn't a
But yeah,
solid answer on whether or not rogues can use if rogues were meant to be able to use spell scrolls. Another situation in which character level might be applicable is the Holy Avenger. When you hold the drawn sword, it creates an aura in a 10-foot radius around you. You and all creatures friendly to you in the aura have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. If you have 17 or more levels in the Paladin class, the radius of the aura increases to 30 feet. Okay,
nice.
no joke, actually. Even if you weren't using the sword itself, this is a great aura.
Yeah, but you have to hold you have to hold it in one of your hands, so you can no longer do bonus action attacks, which is fine, I guess.
Which is fine, I guess.
It's worth it for this.
This feels like something they wrote into the PHP to future proof, and then they never had to use it. Basically,
Yeah, it's a good way to design it.
This is a PHP based OG rogue class that's not really indicative of the direction that they
I think
took
level
it.
requirements were much more of a thing in previous editions. Half of all characters and 2/3 of all rogues are going to be elves. That's true. Elves are very popular. Okay, and at 17th level, you've become adept at laying ambushes and quickly escaping danger. You can take 2 turns during the first round of combat. You take your first turn at your normal initiative and your second turn at your initiative -10. You can't use this feature when you're surprised. That's actually
That's
really
nuts.
good.
That's
actually
a capstone.
insane.
That's just straight up an upgraded version of the Scout one, which is very good.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
This is amazing. It's an insane capstone, in my opinion. Yeah.
So this is really funny. I almost never see Thieves get played. And when I have played Thieves, it's been at lower levels. Thieves are really good at lower levels. Because they have access to items.
Is that impactful?
Is it that impactful?
Here's some
depends.
items that you might be able to use with your bonus action. That like you can use Alchemist Fire, Ball Bearings, Caltrops, Acid, some random healer's kit, Holy Water, a Hunting Trap. That's stupid. Oil, apply a poison, and potions. Potions. I think we got to talk about potions because that is the most impactful thing you could do.
I think potions is the most impactful. I've definitely played and taken the healing feat and just used healer's kits.
Which is...
It's like, all right. Like,
I mean, a healing kit restores health, right?
Let me see. Let's see. When you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, that creature also gains 1 hit point, and then as an action, you can spend 1 use of the healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4 hit points to it, plus additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice. What a janky ability.
So if someone's at 0 hit points, if you use your bonus action to use a healer's kit on them, do they go to 1 or do they get that 1d6 thing?
So it depends on whether you're stabilizing a creature or you're
if they're down.
If they're down, yeah. So you if you're stabilizing, they get 1 hit point.
And nothing else.
That's infinite, but you can also use your healer's kit to restore 1d6 plus 4.
Yeah, so running around and being able to just get people down back up to 1, that's good.
It's good at lower levels, but it is one of those things that has 0 scaling.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think it needs scaling. Like, remember how I think
that's
Healing Word
true.
never
Healing,
needs to be upcast. Like, Healing Word could restore 1 hit point and it would be a similar power level except for low levels. Yeah, I think that's quite good. And if you take potions into account, healing potions, they're similar. They're like slightly better than a healer's kit, especially when you get to powerful potions. Then they could be actually pretty hefty.
So this is the thing. I think I have DM'd more than I've played. It just so happens that we've played a lot of games together. like at this point, Sean, Dan, and I have been playing for the entire length of the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it has been a hot minute, huh?
Yeah, we were in high school when that thing came out.
We
Can you
were in high
believe that?
school.
That's nuts.
Kind of forget that. Yeah, that's terrifying.
So
Hey,
that's the only reason we've played so many classes.
We'd like walk to your house on Fridays.
I know, isn't that funny?
it was great.
Good times.
So
All right.
let me say though, further on with potions, this is campaign dependent because some potions are nuts. It just depends on how many you get. Like
yeah.
getting to use a bonus action potion of invisibility. Sure, that's pretty good.
Would you
I don't know.
Would you like to know what what level
Potion
we are
of
right
flying.
now in
Potion
the
of
game that we're
haste.
playing?
Oh God, don't even tell them.
What level are we?
20. And nothing else. God.
Let's take a look see here.
How much what's the experience level of
Please,
20?
Where's
please
Smith
take this
gone?
with a grain of salt that we've never had a campaign go this high level. And it's an anomaly and it shouldn't happen.
Is this the correct amount of experience? Is 791,000 the correct amount?
Probably. I don't fucking know anymore. Level 20 is what? 300,000?
365.
Yeah,
360. So we're only double the XP.
We're only
past
double the
20.
XP. I appear to have 36 wisdom score.
It's
Anyway, yes, we're quite an anomalous party.
Jeez.
Don't worry, Evan, I have.
This is I promise you our tier lists do not take into account this campaign. Like,
They're not based on our campaign power levels specifically. There's no way they
we
could
generally try to assume a nice, even, unbiased. Generally the scope of people go to like level 8 maybe.
Right. Okay. Anyway, so yes, potions depend on the campaign, so that's very hit or miss. It's really hard to assess that. But being able to use potions as a
And
bonus
fucking-
action is really strong.
And then fucking killed poor soup.
Rather, I guess it's
Almost.
I feel like it's easier to say that potions feel like they're mostly kind of like whack having to use an action to drink them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes to it's the same reason why healing's whack. Do I really want to use my full action just to restore hit points? And then potions are, do I really want to still use my full action just to restore hit points? It's the same thing.
Not even just like healing potions, is that a lot of potions, the effects are not like equivalent to the action you would be losing otherwise.
Yeah.
to drink
Well,
them.
most of them are usually pre-buffy stuff like stuff
Right,
that
that's why
lasts
you
an hour,
want a pre-buff round.
which makes it less impactful to do as a bonus action. I'll grant that.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's true.
It's pretty low impact. I think honestly, one of the strongest potions out there. Like there aren't actually that many base potions. Like you could customize potions if your GM wants to make your thief rogue really happy. But like one of the strongest potions out there is just the potion of speed, which gives you the haste spell. But that's not even that good on a rogue.
No, it's not. You can't benefit from your sneak attack.
There's potions of giant strength, which I would say are like contested for the best, which would set your strength score to somewhere between 21 and 29.
Should get
But again,
another game going. Yeah,
on a rogue, that's okay, but it's not that good.
You're right, actually.
we're yeah. Well,
It's
okay,
so
but the thing
funny.
is, as a bonus action, you can apply that potion to someone else.
That is impactful. Now,
True.
that's quite good. Now,
You got to be near them.
again, campaign dependent, and this becomes a rogue that's just dumping money.
Yeah, and you have to be able to get them. Sorry, I got somewhat distracted. I missed the opening, but I'm assuming you talked about the difficulty of potentially acquiring the things depending on.
Yeah, I basically just said it's campaign dependent, and
Yeah.
like in a certain campaign, they might be cheap and plentiful and everywhere, and you can spam them, and you're gonna have a good time. Another campaign, oh, you want one singular potion of speed? That is 20,000 gold.
How comfortable are you two about making generalizations about campaigns? Specifically, that potions are pretty rare and niche to get a hold of, even aside from the basic healing
Aside from
potion in
healing
the
potions.
PHB, and only the basic one, because I think most campaigns you can't do that very easily.
No, yeah, I agree.
I'd
Most
also say what's the like basic poison that you can buy in 5e?
Low impact on a rogue.
What does it do?
I don't know, like a d6 of damage or some bullshit. I don't.
It's whatever's in the PHP.
Let me look it up.
I don't even have my I do have my PHP. It's under the Pathfinder PHP, which is why I couldn't.
Potion
find
of poison. If you drink it, you take 3d6 poison damage. Wait, what?
What?
What? Wait, something doesn't seem right.
If you must succeed on DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned. At the start of each of your turns, while you're poisoned this way, you take 3d6 poison damage.
I think
At
I
the end of each of your turns,
jacked
you
up. I
can take
accidentally
saving
fucking knocked one of my monitors.
On a successful save, the poison damage you take on subsequent turns decreases by 1d6. The poison ends when the damage increases here. Wow, this potion of poison is awful. It just fucking kills you. This concoction looks, smells, and
This
tastes
potion
like
of poison is amazing.
Look,
it's literally just okay.
looks-
Potion of arsenic.
No, but listen,
you expect?
this concoction looks, smells, and tastes like a potion of healing or other beneficial potion.
Oh yeah.
However, it is also actually poison masked by illusion magic and an identify magic spell.
Oh God,
this might fucking
right.
kill someone easily.
The basic poison in the player's handbook is actually even worse than I remembered.
What?
Yeah.
It is a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 1d4 poison damage.
Yeah, it's garbage, and it's not till higher tiers of play that you're gonna get stronger poison,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's tough. Yeah.
I think I think this is I think this right now at 3rd level, this rogue is worse than assassin. Take that into account.
Oh, that hurts to say. It really hurts.
But it is.
I would play it sooner than assassin, but I'm in
I
agreement.
would also play it sooner than assassin.
I really
It
don't
is
like
worse, though.
assassin.
Now, what about 9th level?
That's what you want out of a rogue.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that good on a rogue though.
No?
No, like advantage on your
Not in
stealth
combat.
checks. I mean, no, even in combat, but like, okay, if you're playing a rogue where you shoot and take the hide action every turn, that's actually pretty good because you're gonna have advantage on your stealth checks to hide because you're just hiding behind some pillar, being a little annoyance and nuisance. So on a ranged rogue, this is actually not bad. On any rogue, it's okay because I mean it's not bad. I do think on a ranged rogue, it's actually pretty good.
I wasn't even thinking about ranged rogue. I guess you're right. It's not the worst. Assuming
Ranged rogues like to do the hide play style.
Yeah, and assuming there's stuff to hide behind, yada yada. Yeah. So I guess you're right. Then you can easily get advantage. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I was more thinking about it out of combat. I think it's decent because, like, at the very least, from experience, we've had times where we wanted someone to go sneak in and do something, and this would give them advantage in something that they probably have expertise, which is very powerful.
The reason why, I'm a little less skeptical because that situation, yes, great. If you're sending in your rogue to do some scouting, this is great. However, I think more often than that is a case where there's group stealth checks, in which case this does not apply unless your entire party is moving at half speed. Which your party's gonna be like, can we fucking pick up the pace? I don't know.
Longbow
It's a little
rogue,
bit of a shame that they added that
It's so funny
thing
because
to it. But
because rogues don't get longbow proficiency by default.
Oof. Unless you're an elf.
Unless you're an elf, which is why a lot of rogues are elves. They just
Wood
pick
elf
up a
rogue loves
longbow,
to
they go 600 feet away, and they never look back.
Wood elf rogue gets bushes too.
yeah. Bis thief rogue.
Honestly,
I think it's good for the infiltration aspect.
yeah. For thieving, you would say.
For thieving,
how about
perhaps?
that? How about
Burglaring?
I think it's okay in combat at best, and if you're melee rogue, it's worthless.
Yes, melee rogue will hate it.
Correct. I think as is, like, on its own, it's really you gotta put some work in to even like get an amount of like efficiency out of it. A lot of flexibility is nice though, and I think this is again dependent on the game, which is not really gonna have a lot of like sway over the ranking. But if you play in like really like really grounded, crafted environments, I think the value of this can go up. Mostly
Could
just because
be.
like if there's like objects that you have to interact with, if there's other objectives other than just DPS burst everything down as quickly as possible, it can have some use. You can be the skill monkey in the middle of the combat, which is nice.
I guess so.
It's only for stealth checks.
What?
Yes.
Supreme sneak.
Yeah. What did you expect it to
What's
do?
skill monkey about
Well, fast
stealth
hands.
checks?
I'm talking about fast hands.
Oh,
Sleight of
okay.
hand.
You're talking about the other
sleight
one.
of
I got
handing,
you.
you'd be disarming traps or opening locks. Technically, some
I-
groups play with
I-
traps.
I really don't think those have any value. I think those are like a nothing feature because if you're ever disarming a trap or opening a lock, you're not in a rush.
Maybe.
You never depends on. I think Wizards has some campaigns that are specifically
Maybe like
designed
Tomb of
to fuck you
Annihilation.
over. Yeah,
Hello. Okay, but like
outside
one-
of those specific ones,
maybe once in every like 100 sessions, that bonus action versus action will matter.
oh yeah, I forgot it's a bonus action versus action. Never mind, I retract my statement.
Yeah, it's just an action normal.
It doesn't even make it that much faster.
No, yeah.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah.
the use object is something.
But
I don't know.
obviously, 17th level is absolutely insane, and then 13th level is really dependent.
I want
I
to
think
not say
13th
really
level-
dependent. I want to rate it as worthless.
I want to
There's
rate
my
it
hot
as
take.
like almost 0.
I'm willing to rate it as 0.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I think
It's
you
pretty
could
much
play
0, yeah.
an incredible number of campaigns, including written ones, and this would never come up because it needs to be an item that is
Yeah.
magical, that has restrictions that you want to use, that no one else in your party also wants to
Yeah.
use.
Even at
The
20th level, yeah, you're right.
You are not going to be able to. Oh, you wanted to use those magic robes for some reason? Too bad the sorcerer fucking got them. You can have them over them because you could equip them. No, it's worthless. This is a terrible thing that is so
Yeah.
niche that I rate it 0.
Yep. It might as well be 0.
It
Yeah.
kind of upset me. Sorry.
I can tell.
The 13th ability.
Well, the 9th level feature's pretty good.
They have an
Oh,
amazing
did we
capstone.
talk about the running jump?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you get 5 whole feet of running jump.
Yeah. Climbing actually more impactful than you would think at low levels. If you're fighting in a forest and you need to climb up a tree, or you're fighting in a city and you climb up a wall, what's the enemy gonna do if they don't have a ranged attack? You're just up there now. Remember the bard, the jester bard that would like fucking scuttle
the
up,
tumble
like,
bard.
that would scuttle the scuttle like 90 feet up a wall.
Bard.
That was really good because you can't follow. This is not as good as that, but it's something. It's pretty good, especially because you're probably playing this as a ranged rogue. You're probably.
I
playing
think
this
you are, yeah. I mean, like, it does. Yeah, I mean, it does mean that you can get into some places.
Mm-hmm. But like, okay, level 1 through 16, I still think it's worse than Assassin, but not that much worse. I think it's slightly worse.
Yeah.
And then at 17th level, Assassin gets a nice little power spike, but this one gets a massive power spike.
Yep.
Like, it's hard to understate how powerful just getting 2 turns in your first turn of combat.
My God, yeah.
That's insane. It's
I
ridiculous.
think it saves it from F tier.
I think so too.
Yeah. I was 100% saying it's got to be D or C.
D.
I'm more inclined to say C, but it's just I like it.
I would rather play
I'm
this
biased.
over Assassin. I would rather play Swashbuckler over this, and I think Assassin is better than it is fun. I think it's
I would
D
play
tier.
Thief over Swashbuckler and Assassin.
I think that's fair. I think this class is more fun than it is good. And
being
unfortunately,
able-
we're rating on good.
And we can
Is
rate
a
on fun.
rogue-
Come on.
Is a rogue with infinite 5-foot range, 1 HP healing words good? I think it's pretty good.
I mean, it's some utility for sure.
Haven't we said that healing is niche?
No, but we're talking.
Yes, but this isn't really
specifically-
healing. This is
We're talking
getting up.
specifically about getting people
Yeah.
up from 0 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
It is niche. It's not going to come up in
So-
most combats.
so-
You're right.
And
It
it's
is
something
niche.
that you can do normally as an action.
Oh,
so what
and
this
if you're
really
walking
is-
away from the enemies to go pick someone up, you're most likely you're probably not going to be able to go hit that turn anyway. So
Or you are, in which case what it's done is it's granted you one additional attack on the turn that your party member got downed.
yeah, yeah.
No, listen, it just means that if you're, it just means
Cleric.
that if you're next to your barbarian and they go down, you can get them up so that you can
Yeah.
use them as a sneak attack battery.
Yeah, but you're making the way you put it made me realize that yes, this is actually very low impact to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Any rogue can do this, and they just lose one attack on the occasional like 1 in every 5 sessions where you might actually have to do it.
Yes,
Like,
and you
whoop-de
also have to
fucking
be
do.
you also have to be near the target, or else you're gonna have to use your dash. It
Yeah.
depends. It depends on how ranged you are. It depends on
Yeah. And ranged rogues are inherently less DPS. I agree with your D assessment, actually.
Okay, I'm persuaded. That's fine.
Sad, poor thief rogue.
I
They're
know. I
fun.
thought Thief was good. Thief.
I didn't think
Thief?
I was never under any delusion that it was good.
Oh,
Well,
I
I think
level
rogue
with you?
subclasses are actually pretty good on average.
I guess you're right. I mostly remember that first one. I forgot that everything else was kind of nothing.
Strange to you that the ambush 2-turn feature doesn't actually include some kind of feature that lets you set up a trap. There's no, like, it's almost no features that let you set up traps. There's like one class, right, that lets you set up some kind of trap.
Mm.
Or maybe that was the one I wrote. I wrote that tactician class that lets
Yeah.
you just like yeet people 20 feet that way or this way.
Yeah, that does seem like a
I feel
fun
like there
class to
was.
play.
You know what?
There-
It's like traps are so involved actually in D&D. Like setting up any kind of like delayed ability is like really hard. Like glyphs of warding are like impossible to set up basically.
traps by their nature usually presume you have time to do it, and most of the time in D&D it's just sort of not worth it. So
The players are very rarely the reactive force in a campaign. They are the people that go out and encounter things. The
Exactly.
mobs aren't going out and encountering you.
That's a really good way
Yeah.
of putting it. Actually, you were the active force, and traps are more reactive than active.
That's true.
Mm.
I mean,
same with
I
glyph of
think
warding, yeah.
I feel like there should be some subclasses that kind of play more into like a trap maker role.
We almost had a campaign where that might have worked. The campaign where we were all like Dark Souls die and stuff.
Yeah,
That
We
was
could
we
ambush
were
every night.
reactive. We were very reactive in that campaign. We were
Mhm.
moving though, so you can't like set up a base.
Yeah.
Although I
You'd
kept making mansions of grander and grander proportions.
Yeah, I mean, you did set up in the Gats campaign. You set up a lot of traps in that one. Let me tell you, Dan.
I forgot.
You have to
about that.
convince your party to let you do that though.
It's also like kind of unique because like it has to be a situation in which you have time and like space to set up a trap and then lure people into that trap.
Yeah.
And like it's always just going to be way more work for about the same amount of benefit.
Yeah, it was some of a military campaign, so we were a bit reactive there too.
Unrelated to any of this, but of the 3 base D&D 5th edition subclasses,
Oh no!
or rogue classes, Arcane Trickster, Assassin, and Thief,
Yeah.
I always figured I would play Thief more readily than the other 2.
It's because Arcane Trickster is kind of a pain in the ass.
I always figured Arcane Trickster.
No, I hate being a half caster.
You're not a
It's-
half caster. You're a third caster.
You're a
Yeah,
1/3 caster.
I absolutely loathe playing a partial caster. It's so annoying. I
No,
would
Did you
I-
ever play a paladin?
I would Paladin is the one exception because you can do other stuff with your spell slots.
See, I'm on
True.
the same page where
That's why you give Rangers Divine Smite.
Mhm.
I've basically already played all of the like third casters and I'm like kind of over it.
I dislike playing them even if they're good. Yeah.
I want
So I was like,
want,
and I hate assassins. So I was like, Thief is good, and then it's the lowest of the 3 that we
I was
rated,
gonna
which
say,
is funny.
The thing is that I want the martial fantasy. You know?
Yes, God, yes. If I wanted to
if
play a
I'm playing a
caster, I'd play a
rogue-
fucking caster.
If I'm playing a rogue, I don't want that rogue to be good just because it can use magic and magic is the best thing in the game. I want the rogue to be good on its like on the merits of rogue ability.
Yes, agreed.
So we have one left, and it's a
Sure.
League of Legends one, and it's
Oh,
fucking
God.
long.
Ah, fuck!
I thought we'd end at 2. We were so close.
Oh,
I'm so glad we didn't
Jesus.
do all of these last weekend.
Oh,
Okay,
last
so
one.
this is the gamble rogue. At 3rd level, you gain the guidance
It's twisted
cantrip.
fate.
It's twisted
Anyway.
fate. Okay.
Wait,
He's a
see.
League of Legends. He's a League of Legends character that
You
gambles
learn
with
the
cards.
guidance cantrip. Starting at 9th level, it has a range of 30 feet for you, and you can cast it as a bonus action.
Guidance.
Okay, all right.
Tier class.
This is
Fuck you.
the least obnoxious implementation of guidance, because if you're using it as a bonus action, you're mostly using it on yourself. And if you're, because as a rogue, you want to be using it on yourself anyway. So you just basically have a D4 to everything you do.
Is guidance a... Oh, that's right.
You roll a d4 and add that number rolled to one ability check of your choice. So it's only ability checks, and concentration
Yeah.
will last 1 minute.
Actually, yeah, no, this is still bad. How many
No.
ability checks do you make in a combat?
No,
Out
you're
of
not. This is not
combat-
combat ability.
This is an out of combat ability,
Why
which
would it need
means
to be
it
a
doesn't matter if it's a bonus
bonus-
action or not.
Correct.
Yeah, why would
yeah.
it matter if it's a bonus action?
Just ignore that part. The 30
But the fact
feet,
that it's on your rogue is like the
and the
most
30 feet also
impactful thing.
barely matters.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
only
don't know
matters
why
if,
you would
like,
be. I have no idea why you'd be casting this at range anyway.
There's very little point. Like, oh, do I need to help my person scout with their perception, but they're up in a tree and I don't feel like going up there? I don't know. I guess.
Oh god. Okay. So you gain proficiency with one of the following gaming sets: dice set, dragon chest
Yeah,
set, or
good
playing
set.
card set. The gaming set you choose grants you a wild cards gambit, as detailed below. If you are proficient in multiple types of gaming sets, you must choose which gambit to use when you gain this feature. You can change your choice of gambit whenever you gain a level in this class. Loaded dice. You gain a pool of d6. Oh, this is so obnoxious. You gain a pool of d6s equal to the number of d6s you roll for your sneak attack damage. Your pool starts with 2d6 at 3rd level, increases to 3d6 at 5th level, and so on. When a creature targets you with an attack, you can use your reaction to spend 1 die from the pool and subtract the number rolled from the attack. You can choose to use this feature after the creature makes its roll, but before the DM determines whether the attack roll hits or misses. Starting at 9th level, you can spend up to 2 dice from the pool at once. And starting at 17th level, you can spend up to 3 dice at once. You regain all expended dice from your loaded dice pool when you complete a long rest. Guidance is a broken cantrip that shouldn't exist. Correct. It's broken and obnoxious and slows down play.
It slows down play tremendously because it's like maybe I can make a history. I cast guidance.
Guidance!
Guidance. That's half the words you'll hear in every session. Guidance.
Dragon Chess, your prowess of the chessboard has made you a skilled tactician on the battlefield. As a bonus action on your turn, you can execute one of the following chess maneuvers. You can use a bonus action in this way a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. Regain all uses after a long rest. Dragon.
Charisma.
Choose a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The first time that creature makes a successful attack roll before the start of your next turn, they deal extra damage equal to your level in this class. Whoa.
Oh, first time. Okay.
Griffin, your movement speed increases by 10 feet, and your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. These benefits last until the start of your next turn. Okay. And Sylph, you and all friendly creatures within 5 feet of you have advantage on dexterity saving throws until the start of your next turn. Okay.
Wait.
I love how worthless Griffin is.
Griffin, you might as well just bonus action disengage, right?
It's a bonus action. You get 10 feet of movement speed. And also
Great.
disengage. Yeah, it's like slight. Yeah,
And
Slightly
you use
better
an
than
ability,
disengage.
like you use a
and it costs a resource.
And it
a
costs-
resource.
So
fun.
would I like my disengage to give me 10 more feet of movement? Then use a resource, I guess.
Yeah.
That's an expensive
wait.
10 feet.
There's a lot to go through here. Could we
Sure.
before you read the and then
Okay.
is that
I want
is the
to.
dragon good at all?
Yeah, that's.
So it scales, and that's about it,
But
right?
Wouldn't you? So you'd only ever use this is if you hit your first attack,
Yep.
and then you wouldn't want to use your bonus action to do some piddling amount of damage. Your bonus action will do like 5 damage or whatever, and this might do 3 to 20 damage.
Yeah, minus the 5 that you're missing out on in exchange.
Minus
for
the
this.
5 that you're missing out on.
Okay.
But on the other hand, now you can range draw. Oh no, you can't because you're still same problem
30
we
feet.
discussed earlier.
And a dragon requires a guy with 30 feet.
Yeah. It's not
and wait,
stellar. Like
No, it's-
damage based on class level is usually pretty good, but it kind of has to not eat your bonus action.
Yeah.
I think it's very low impact. And then the bonus action, you and all creatures in the fight if you have advantage on dexterity savings. Great, you're stacked. Like, oh, there's a fireball. We should all stack up and get this buff, and then all get hit by the fireball or fire breath. It's dumb. If you're using this, you're playing wrong, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's
You might as well. You should. You're better off using your bonus action to dash away, so you can spread out.
Sure.
probably.
All right.
But okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, okay.
You could
I
give-
still
you
have to
could-
like fucking understand loaded dice. I'll just read that again.
A loaded
Yeah,
dice
I
is
don't
basically
understand that
like
one
it's
either.
like a random parry.
All right, you're gonna pull a d6. Okay, so you have a lot of d6s. You can and subtract the number. Oh, that's a big number to subtract.
Correct.
So at
To spend,
fifth
no,
level,
no. To spend 1 die from the pool and subtract it. Yeah, no, it's
Until
1d6.
you get to 9th level, at which you can spend 2 dice, and then at
And there-
17 you can do 3.
So it starts with you can subtract maybe 3.5, then it goes to 7, then it goes to 10.5. 7 is pretty huge. 3.5 is and 10.5 is kind of massive. But it is only 1 attack. It's not like a shield.
No, so it's much more
Yeah.
like the parry ability that a lot of enemies
Yeah.
and creatures.
It's
get.
also your reaction, which
You might want to
it-
use
it-
the
this-
uncanny dodge instead.
I mean, no
Well,
Uncanny
I mean,
dodge
if you have
halves
this
it-
up, yeah,
halves, whereas this-
this could potentially dodge.
I think this is better than uncanny dodge, but it's
Probably.
it's just
It's like
I guess you can
just-
just look at it as upgraded uncanny
pretty-
dodge with a resource count.
Yeah, Dan, what this really does, instead of taking half damage, you're taking no damage. So this eats,
Exactly.
this eats an effective 1/2
That's why
attack.
it's up. That's why it's upgraded uncanny dodge. But uncanny dodge is already good. You just make
Yeah,
better.
it is basically saving you half an attack.
Yeah.
That's very.
That's very low
And like
impact.
the thing
It's
about uncanny
less
dodge
impactful
is,
than I initially thought.
Yeah, the thing about uncanny dodge is like uncanny dodge is like a great ability, but it's also
With
the
infinite
fact that,
resources.
yeah, it's also infinite, and also a lot of the times like a lot of big damage numbers aren't necessarily coming from attacks. They're coming from
Yeah.
saving throws, which you already have something for that kicks in automatically. Anyway,
Or it comes from 8 attacks.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Playing cards. You have developed a fighting style based on the cartomancy of the Serpent Isles. You have your own deck of enchanted cards and can make their edges razor sharp with a flick of your wrist. If you have not yet used your sneak attack this turn, you can use your action to take one of these cards and attack a creature within 30 feet of it. With it. The attack roll for this feature uses your dex mod, and on a hit, it deals slashing damage equal to 1d4 plus dexterity. When you roll for damage, look at the number rolled on the d4. Oh my god.
What the? I love it.
The attack gains a random effect. I think knowing what I know, knowing what little I know about League of Legends, I think this is the intended one that you're supposed to use.
Yeah. This is the TF one, but TF gets to choose one of 3.
So the attack gains a random effect based on a number rolled, as detailed in the wild card suit table below. You can attack using a card in this manner a number of times equal to your charisma modifier.
Charisma.
Again, I'll use that after a long rest. Number 1, Blade. Roll your sneak attack damage and add it to your Razor card's damage. At the start of its next turn, the target takes additional damage equal to half the sneak attack damage rolled. Okay? That's
wait,
pretty-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's basically just 1.5 times sneak attack. That's pretty good.
sure.
That's nice.
Shackle. Until the
If
start of
you-
your next turn, the target speed is halved. It can't make more than one attack on its turn while its speed is reduced in this way. Okay? It's potentially pretty okay. That really
It
depends.
won't reach you, I guess, because you're 30 feet away.
I think this ability like scales in a weird way because like it only locks them to doing one attack.
Yeah, that's so good if you can, reliably against the target that
That is
anyway.
good, yeah.
What's heart?
Heart, roll your sneak attack damage and add it to your Razor card's damage. You immediately regain a number of hit points equal to half the damage dealt. Any excess hit points regained become temporary hit points. Wait, hang on.
Ooh.
Hold on.
So that's a huge amount if you sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God! Whoever wrote this did not understand how to write classes. This is so
They
painful.
fucked up.
They
Do
fucked
you get
it.
do you get double sneak attack damage?
There's no way. There's no way.
I think we have to assume you don't because otherwise,
There's
yeah.
there's
Wait,
no
wait,
way
let me
except
read
they
it.
have to rewrite the other two then.
The other
or
one up
these two.
there says the attack uses dexterity modifier when you roll for damage.
If you have
think-
not yet used your sneak attack this turn, you can do this. Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
so
see.
I think what it means is that shackle and the shackle ability like does not apply sneak attack damage, which kind of makes it
Yeah.
But they inherently don't, and only
Yeah,
only these two do.
Heart and Blade.
correct.
So okay, heart is a heal, and then number 4 is you just choose one instead of rolling randomly.
Oh,
I like the way they did
okay,
this
so
because
that's pretty good.
TF inherently has 3 choices, and instead of doing what the stupid modern subclasses do, is like roll a D3. This one just says D4, and you get to choose one. That's way better to do.
That's actually
Also
really
with
good. Yeah, that's way better.
Are these?
It means it means
would
you have a
use this feature.
so
You can only attack once per turn, not twice.
Yeah.
So you might just miss.
the thing about this is like I think I maybe it equals out just because like at least if you hit the blade one the fact that it's a 1d4 but number like 4 is you can choose any of them means you have a 2 out of 4 like a 1/2 chance of hitting anything you want particularly.
Let me if you have 2 chances to do 1 sneak attack of damage or 1 chance to do 1.5 sneak attack of damage, I think I'd almost rather do the 2 chances for 1.
I think so. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I agree. I mean, it's inherently like gamble-y class.
Yeah. Like, I just don't like the gamble of, oh, which of these 4 will I get? How exciting. You don't get any. You missed. Next.
Yeah, that's also true. That's so true.
You're all cowards that don't believe in the heart of the cards.
I guess not.
I believe in the heart of the cards if the cards fucking manage to touch the enemy.
You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
I really don't like playing
The
rogues that
random-
attack once.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
And you're gonna have to pump charisma, otherwise you get to do this once per long rest.
I know. You get so few of them.
Even
unless
if you put a
pump
whole bunch into
charisma.
charisma and you get like 16 charisma, you get to do this 3 times.
God, this really should be tied to proficiency.
Yeah.
This is terrible, I think.
It's not amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if the feature is good, even if we do the math and it averages out to be maybe slightly more impactful than just attacking normally, you get to do it once or twice, probably. Maybe 3 times.
It does not seem amazing. How's shifting the odds?
Shifting the odds at 9th level, you are acutely.
Also, you lose it. You lose it if you miss. You don't get. It still counts.
I know
It's
that
still-
sucks so bad.
Oh.
You were about to quit when you're ahead. Vanishing. It makes missing so much worse for a 1-attack rogue.
You're gonna feel awful.
All in. Oh, bust.
God.
As a bonus action, you can disappear with a dramatic flourish. Each creature within 10 feet of you must make a dexterity saving throw. DC equals 8
Charisma.
plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier, of course. Taking 4d10 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. You teleport yourself to an unoccupied space that you can see within 120 feet of your original location. Once you have used this ability, you cannot use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Okay. So that is a long misty step with a damage component.
Bonus action is nice.
What's that spell?
Damage is
it
fine.
Thunderstep? Is that
Oh, Thunderstep,
was?
yeah,
It's Thunderstep.
That's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
How many? And you could use it once.
Once.
Once is honestly, I'm
fine.
sort of okay
The
with
problem.
once.
Oh yeah, but the 120 feet is excessive because you're not gonna be able to attack next turn.
Yeah, then
if
you're
using your
still a
card feature,
rogue. So
Your
It's-
card feature is 30 feet.
Yeah, so it's 30 feet, but up to 120 feet. You
Yeah, I
can
guess
choose
if you
to go
wanna fuck
shorter.
off.
If you really wanted to fuck off, you have that option.
They
don't make
really
me
should've
tap
made
the
the card-
sign. This should be.
They
tied to
really should have made the
efficiency.
card feature like 60 feet at least.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh.
That I'm in agreement. But like for instance, 120 feet is still useful because you might want to go 30 feet the other way, like on the other side of the boss or whatever.
Just fuck off.
I think having 120 feet instead of 30 feet like is actually a decent boon, but you're right that depending on where you go and what movement you want to do after,
Yeah.
you're not always going to use all of it. I like
60
bonus
feet
action
is-
teleport.
60 feet is definitely great. You could be 60 feet away and then 30 feet in. You just move 30 feet in and attack again next turn.
Bonus action teleport's decent once
Yeah.
per rest is a bit rough, but it's probably all you'll need to be
I mean,
perfect.
The
honestly,
damage is not that relevant either.
It's not super
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah.
All right. At 13th level, you gain mastery over the game, or your
Twist
mastery
of fate.
over the. Stop it. Twist of fate. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I was waiting to say it.
After rolling initiative, but before the first turn of combat, you can choose to swap places in the initiative order of the one creature you can see. If the creature is one of your allies, that ally must agree to swapping initiative.
Wait a
Wait,
minute.
can you do it with an enemy?
Wait, you can just
Yes.
choose to take an enemy's initiative and they don't get a say? That's so funny, actually.
Hold up,
What?
that's fucking awesome.
This
That's
ability is
wait.
great.
Don't some DMs don't a lot of DMs play where you don't know the enemy's initiatives though?
Not
Probably.
anymore.
I guess you have to not. Yeah, you
Gotta
can't play that way
know.
with this.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
That
Or you
is-
just don't use this
That's
feature.
pretty funny.
You know
This-
what's really funny?
I love any of the fucky initiative abilities, though.
Ooh, I like the gambling aspect of this. Where, do I choose to swap place with that guy? But I don't know what he rolled. Maybe he rolled
Yeah.
a 1, maybe he rolled a 20. But I rolled really low, so odds are he'll go red. Shit, he was worse than me.
I would like to swap with the bugbear. All right, here's your 1. Fuck!
If you're always swapping with enemies, the fact that you have plus dex to your initiative is actively bad.
Yeah.
You know what?
Isn't that
Maybe that's
funny?
it. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't play Dex. You only pop charisma.
I thought I have two things to say about that. One, you might actually always swap up. You might take the thing that makes you roll high initiative and then give it to your casters.
Yeah.
So they can blow up the field before any meleeers go in, and you'll get sneak attack because you'll put yourself below your other melee dudes. Then the other thing I had to say about that, I think that's pretty good. I think the other thing I have to say about this, I thought about taking a 1-level Hexblade dip in here for charisma, but it doesn't work. The feature explicitly says it uses your dexterity modifier on a hit. And you can't change that, even if you make the playing, even if you made the playing cards your weapon, even if the game allowed you to do that, it would still use dexterity.
Sad. It's a bummer.
It would have been neat.
Yeah.
That said,
Yeah,
this
that-
ability is really good.
Honestly, okay. So this is my hot take. There's a lot of things that are wrong with this class. And the way
Depends
that
on how
it's
much you value
written.
initiative.
But if everything else is charisma based, this should be charisma based. Straight up.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that. Or alternatively, the number of times you should do it is maybe
Dex.
dex
Dex?
based.
Maybe
How
you can
about
make
that?
everything based on dexterity. Like everything in this class is based on charisma, which I understand why you would maybe choose to do that, but you shouldn't. Don't do
Oh,
that.
you're right. I didn't notice the DC was based on charisma. The only reason, by the way, I didn't bring it up, and it does hurt the fact that Swashbuckler, the initiative bonus is tied to charisma, but the only reason it gets away with it is because its initiative's
free.
already tied to dex. So as a result, it's just a free passive
It's just
bonus,
like a free
right?
+1 or 2. If
This
you're
one is
using panache, it's probably like a +3.
This one is tied instead, right?
In my opinion, I actually disagree that I see why they might have put it charisma, but if you don't play League of Legends and you're just reading the subclass, it does not make sense to make these charisma. Stuff like playing cards, that would be sleight of hand, not like
It'd be
fucking
dexterous.
yeah. Chess moves, intelligence, like charisma. Like-
yeah,
True.
that is
all,
true.
all this shit, it doesn't make sense. The only reason why they're putting charisma because in League of Legends, TF has a suave voice and like likes to be seductive, but that's not written
sexy.
here. But that's not written here, so it doesn't make sense why they put it as charisma.
I'm so glad you're with
So
us, Dan, to
awful.
teach us all this
So
league
awful.
stuff.
So funny. Okay, at
It
17th
shouldn't be
level,
charisma.
your mastery over chance encompasses even your own form, allowing you to exist between potential realities. As a bonus action on your turn, you can take on an incorporeal form, during which you gain the following benefits. You regain expended power for your wild cards gambit feature. Cards, you regain all spent uses of that
You
feature.
get them all back.
Dragon chest, you regain all spent uses of that feature. Dice, you gain. Yeah.
Huh.
Your movement speed is doubled, resistance to all damage, immune to grapple, paralyze, stun, and restrain. It's good. You can move through objects and terrain as if they were difficult terrain. If you end your turn inside a creature, etc., etc. Lasts for 1 minute until you are incapacitated. Once you use the feature, you cannot use it again until you complete a long rest. This is Phantom's 13th level ability,
Is it?
right?
Double speed in resistance. to
Other
all
than the
damage
doubling
immune.
speed, you're basically becoming the ghost walk, right?
You are, but that doesn't change
Ghost
the
walk
fact.
gets flying though.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that this ability is fucking nuts.
Oh, of
It
course
is
it's really good.
Resistance to all. So the other one also had resistance to all damage.
Yes, it did. That's
Think
why.
of it
That's
silly
why Phantom's S tier.
That's true. And this one also has immune to grapple, paralyzed, stun, and restrain. That's pretty good. When
Silly
it comes
unreal that
up.
all magic BS needs a mental stat. I mean that is true. I think
They started
in-
going away from that.
I think they've started going away from it. The fact is that this is just a League of Legends tie-in class, which is what makes it all kinds of absolute fuckery.
All kinds of design disaster. Yeah.
I know. I don't know who they got to do these, but like I could do your job. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about League of Legends, and straight up, I could do your job better.
Oh, that's because you need to know about D&D when you're designing D&D. Anyway, so this one is really good. There's no denying it. Pretty much everything about this is really good.
It's just so late.
I don't think
regaining-
17th level.
Regaining the features is not even that impactful in my opinion because the features kind of suck.
This is the weird rogue. That's true, but everything else about it is incredible. So I think their 17th level feature is fantastic. I think their 13th level feature is quite good, and then
I
those are
like
the
the
ones
I
we-
like I actually I think the 13th level ability is my favorite of the bunch.
Yes, 100%. Can we have more classes that can do that?
That just
Can we
fuck
have
with
a good
initiative?
class that's playable that can do that?
I think the reason
wanna do
most
that.
don't do this like initiative order thing is just because
How do you resolve
Wizards
multiple?
of the Coast is really afraid of saying definitive things about how you should play the game, which is incredibly stupid in my opinion because that's what a rule book is for.
No, you've lost me on that one, but I don't want to argue right now.
Well, no, because they have so many alternative initiative rules. They're like, we don't know which one people will be using.
I
We
got
don't want to
you.
write a mechanic that people might not use, which is why they don't write like, these kinds of things in, and why they're always in like the Matthew Mercer classes or the tie-in classes, because those people are people that play the game like normal people usually.
The 9th level was all right, and the 3rd level, I think we were all underwhelmed.
It's a lot of text for like really not that much benefit. Like yes, objectively speaking, a lot of these are okay to good,
Slightly,
but they're
better
slightly
than-
better, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that's annoying me is tricks up the sleeve. The guidance one, just getting guidance is objectively kind of really strong, but I hate it.
Yes, correct.
As an out of combat thing, that is just give all ability checks for your entire campaign forever for every single person increased by 1d4.
It's not as good as you say. Do you know why?
Why?
Because any spellcaster could do the same and it doesn't stack.
Well, who gets the guidance cantrip? It's only like clerics and like clerics and druids, artificers.
Yep.
You just need one of those, and then it's redundant.
Yeah, okay, but if you don't have one of those, that's really weird.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think artificers are
Pull up the tier list.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Thief and Mastermind
Why?
I think I
because Thief had nothing.
agree. Maybe.
Okay, but this one I would not use. I would not use the playing card feature. I would not use the dragon chest feature. The loaded dice means every time I would have got a canny dodge, I save like 4 HP or some bullshit, like 3 HP maybe. I don't know.
You know what's
That's it.
funny?
I
There's
think
a
I
lot
might
of-
use the playing card from time to time.
There's a lot of things here, but actually none of them are particularly interesting. It's a shockingly boring class.
Yeah, I think that some of the wild cards are vaguely interesting.
It would be interesting if you were inclined to use them.
Yeah, and I think you might.
I think you might, but it is
If you can
obviously
give yourself advantage, maybe.
Mhm.
it is obviously also just like I think generally people will use this just because it's their class feature. I don't think they'll really put any more thought into it than that.
Also, it has the
Yes.
problem. It has the
But we're-
problem where you can't use magic weapons with your playing cards.
Correct.
Open
No,
the
no
magic
+3 weapon
cards.
when you have to use a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Some of these are potentially really good, but niche is the problem, and it's random. But I don't want to discount the playing card 100%. I don't want to value it 0 because I think you might actually use it occasionally if you have advantage. For example, if you wanted the HP, you have a 50% chance of healing temporary hit points.
Yeah.
It's not amazing.
50% on a hit.
50% on a hit to have their speed and make them attack once on certain enemies is broken, but niche.
All right, boys, hydrate.
Oh boy.
I got this coffee.
I got water.
I also had coffee.
Wow.
I've had so much caffeine today.
Wow.
Okay,
but like, yeah, it is impactful, I guess.
I feel like
So that's why it beats out Thief. I don't really remember Mastermind, but I'm willing to say it beats out Mastermind.
Coffee doesn't hydrate. Coffee hydrates. It's more water than caffeine.
No, it doesn't.
I've got water here too, actually.
Coffee goes against the spirit of hydration.
Fine, I'll drink some water. I have some right next to me from last night.
There we go, Chi. Are you happy?
Okay, watered. All right.
It definitely
like a
does the opposite.
Plant. I think
I have to,
nice cold water.
I have to pee so bad.
we're almost done. Keep it in.
That's why I'm okay. Keep going.
Hi, Lucius.
Hello.
You were here right as we were ranking this last one. I feel like it can be either B or C. IMO. I feel like
I don't like.
I feel
B.
like I
There's
feel
no
like
way it's
Dan
B.
wants to pull it down into C, and I'm okay
What do
with
you
that.
pull it down? I don't think it deserves a B.
I agree. I don't know. Well,
No.
It does get a pretty decent capstone ability.
Compare this to Swashbuckler. Swashbuckler obviously wins.
yeah, I think you're. Wait, does Swashbuckler have anything going for it late game? It's
No.
got. It's better. early
No,
game.
no, that's why it's C.
What about Scout? What does Scout do again? Oh, Scout has.
Scout
the late
gets a
game.
double sneak attack.
Well, Scout also just fits the skill monkey role very well.
I think it's good. I think C is correct. I don't think this is above average.
Man.
There we go.
There we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pew, 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 pew,
We
pew,
have no F tiers.
Yeah.
Yet again. Is that 2 classes we've done in a row with no F tiers?
What was the last one we did? Rangers? Did Rangers have no F tiers? No, wait.
Yeah, because they were all F tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
What,
create a
can I
monster
help
that
you?
could solo everything. Doesn't even deal that much damage. It has 2 effects that make it extremely strong. Are they conditions? Because conditions are like broken. As it turns out, if you can stun a whole party, it doesn't matter if they have hit points left.
If I make a monster with a DC 40 psychic scream, the game's over.
Yeah. Everybody just dies. We
I
just
will
sit
get
there
there
stunned
eventually.
forever.
Okay, but that was only a DC 25.
Oh yes, only a DC 25. How magnanimous of you.
Very well.
Are you happy with this?
I'm pretty happy with this.
Let me do a little double check. Phantom Life, yes. Architectural Vibe, yeah. Inquisitive, yeah. The only thing that I am debating is that some of the C tier ones, everything seems to fit except for the range on the C tier. Like, if we had to order these 4 in the C tier, what order would you put them in?
Oh God, do we have to?
Oh.
I
Well,
don't
I'm
want
curious
to.
if all of them belong.
Well, this is the best way to do that. You're correct. What the fuck does Scout get?
Which one's better is Assassin and Swashbuckler?
Between Assassin and Swashbuckler.
I like Swashbuckler more.
Assassin has a little bit more potential.
Yeah, but it's more variable.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I don't know exactly how we should rank classes that are strong and are fairly strong in really specific circumstances that you have to engineer, and how easy it is to engineer those circumstances.
Okay. I consider Assassin and Swashbuckler to be pretty on par at 3rd level, because I don't think you'll get that many surprise rounds unless you really try to engineer them.
So this is like what I would say is that
Hang on, I'll be right
Swashbuckler
back.
is more consistent. Yeah, you can go. So I feel like Swashbuckler is more consistent. But Assassin is like really swingy and really good in the times that you can engineer those situations. But you have to, and it's not going to be super consistent in that regard.
And
so like they almost feel exactly the same to me in that regard.
Fair, and I think they both kind of belong. And I would definitely put Scout and Wildcard below those 2.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with
and
that.
I think between Scout and Wildcard,
I mean, you'd rather play Scout, right?
Yeah, but they're
You rather did play
very-
Scout, right?
yeah. Yeah. They're pretty similar power level.
I think Scout
And
gets...
I do think both of them are a more satisfying / more applicable / better rogue than Mastermind and Thief.
I'm back.
And I do think Inquisitive is a little bit better and fits more niches than something like a Scout. So
You put
I'm pretty
assassin before
satisfied.
swashbuckler. Never mind. You put assassin before swashbuckler?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'm looking at it, and I think the order is fine. Actually, I think it's the only thing I would even consider is like a whole shift down of just like putting like Scout and Wildcard down to D and Mastermind and Thief down to F. But I don't know if I don't even know if that feels right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thief, I said the thing that saved it was the fact that its 17th level is bonkers.
It is
And
really
That's
most-
so late.
It is,
It's
but
super
most
late.
of the F tier classes that we did had basically no redeeming features.
Yeah.
Did
that's-
Mastermind
and so-
have no redeeming features?
Well, that's
I-
a very good question, isn't it?
I believe that we agreed that bonus action help
Yeah.
is half decent.
Because like you're gonna attack, and if you hit, then the bonus action help is good, and if you don't
Yeah.
hit, then you're just gonna ignore it and do a bonus action. Which,
Yep.
yeah, okay, that is not worth F tier. 'Cause
Okay.
that does
This looks fine to me then.
looks fine to me.
Cool. All right. Well,
We did it.
We did it. Rogues are finally done. Part 2. Wow, part 2 took so much longer than I thought it would. Holy.
I know.
How many
Jesus.
did we have to rank?
We had to rank like 5. And it took like. Oh,
Okay, but
I think
we
it took
only
like
ranked- we
more
ranked
time than the
6.
6 last
Listen,
time.
we did 6 in 2 hours, and then we did 5 in 2 hours and 25. It's not that much slower,
not that much
but it
worse.
is slower, yeah.
But like, yeah,
It's
it's
decidedly
definitively
slower.
slower. I think because
Yeah.
I thought we would hit all the easy ones, and then we just like chunk. Kept hitting these big chunky boys.
Wild card should not exist, in my opinion. That's why. Wild card is stupid.
I mean, I think the general consensus that we're going with is, if it's on D&D Beyond, we probably should rank it. And then
I think yeah, it's official enough that we should rank it.
well, D&D Beyond
Kinda.
now is owned by Wizards of the Coast, which I didn't even know it wasn't.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the Rogue subclass tier list, part dos. And that's
We
the
did
final list. Oh, Jesus Christ. It feels like I've been here forever. Well,
Wahoo.
are you all available next week?
Probably.
Question mark?
What I can tell, probably.
Okay. In that case, next week we will be doing sorcerers, which I'm sure will be interesting. I think that might have to be a 2-parter.
Oh, for sure.
Sorcerer.
But sorcerers are like,
Fun.
I think sorcerers are gonna be weird. I think all of the ones we have left are gonna be pretty weird. Or
Yeah,
maybe
maybe.
wizards will be really easy.
No, I doubt it.
Well, we'll
I don't
see.
know. A lot of them have really like kind of dog shit subclasses.
Tune in next week to find out.
Tune in
Wow.
next week to find out. Here, let me see. Let me see, because I now that I have a hold of a bunch of you, where is? Let's see. Oh, turn this off. Yeah, we'll see you next week. I'm gonna send you over to Phil's channel. I
Ooh.
think he's playing Pillars of Eternity,
Oh,
which
nice.
is kind of D&D-y.
Close enough.
Bye bye. Have a good one.
Thanks for coming. /raid.
Basically D&D.